If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They
don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Steers on the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what? What is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side flyer. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube, but view it for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Cowards. A lot of hockey cowards out there. You guys aren't built for the cup, dude. You guys aren't built for the cup. Leroy, they're not built for the cup.
No.
The fans, they can't stomach it. They can't stomach it. You know, a little bit of razzle dazzle from McDavid. He's good. And then all of a sudden, everybody's rats off a ship, rats off the ice, rats off a ship right now.
Right.
I don't like it. I think we found something, Leroy. I think we found something at the end of that game yesterday. I think Tkachuk has awoken from his slumber, and we close this puppy out on Friday.
I would say, and I throw this out periodically, being in sports as long as I have, the Panthers can beat Edmonton. We've seen that. But there's something in sports that a lot of people don't understand, including the people playing in the game, and that's desperation. Right? Desperation in anything in life. If you come across somebody that's desperate and is willing to do whatever it takes, you have to match that intensity, that speed. And the last couple of games, the Panthers have started off in their normal, slow first period self and got skated off the ice, and then they matched the intensity, but by then it's too late.
Yep.
And so I said this before, the last 2 games, you'll know what the game is going to look like in the first 10 minutes. Right?
Yeah, but it kind of switched. Like the game didn't stay the same.
Again, I said they start off these games like this. And then as the game moves on, then they start matching into, oh, this is what kind of game we're playing. Right?
The thing that's frustrating about it, though, is like intensity and all that. It just was sloppy. Like these sloppy.
Like, dude, if they give up one more shorty, I'm gonna blow up my TV.
I nearly
I said it. I've been saying it all playoffs.
I know
they're more breakaways than to
they're
be
almost
on
at
the
the record.
power play.
They have one more. They tie the record.
I'm like, holy smokes!
It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible. This is I really like. Look, my depression yesterday at 3-0 was very bad because I felt like the Panthers were never going to score a goal again.
I wasn't worried until they scored really quick and then gave up a BS goal again. Right? So at some point you got to shut down the nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they never could. Right? They really never could. And then in the third period, they matched the intensity. Look, for some reason, the Panthers looked like they were skating faster. They were moving with, and I'm like, where was this 2 periods ago?
When Matthew Tkachuk scored that goal and made it 3-1, it was like a different team arrived.
Right.
It was like he arrived. And even though, they came back and they scored on the power play, which let me just tell you something. I was watching on ESPN Plus yesterday, and it's been fine, nothing wrong. When buffering hits on a championship game, and I have to go back click back in and I see the Oilers celebrating up 4-1, that's enough to make somebody like want to break things. I'm like, are you kidding me? Now, I guess you could say I was saved from watching the pain, but it's like, you blip out and then this monster moment happens. Cats come right back seconds later and they get the goal off of Erod hits the goal off of that dude's hand. And you're like, right back in it. And I swear, dude, once they tied things up in that third period, I thought for sure they were going to win. I really did.
Right.
I really did. Once Tkachuk set up Ekman Larson for the for making it 4-3, I'm like, they're winning this game because they were playing fantastic.
Right.
They're playing fantastic. I was like, I hadn't seen that team really probably since the second period of game 3. We hadn't seen that team. And I think it all coincided with Matthew Tkachuk finally arriving in the series. And that's why my confidence is still at a pretty good place going into Friday night, because I'm like, look, we could talk about Alexander Barkov. He's, bar none the Panthers' best player. I agree with that. Oh, he's had some untimely penalties.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. You can't be the best player on your team at everything and be sitting in the penalty box. What do you think's going to happen?
It's a killer. Him, Akposo, you too, dude. You need to enough.
And then if you ain't the guy, you can't be giving team advantages.
Yeah, it's killing me. Yeah, him, Kulikov. I know you're nervous. You've been a Panther forever. You want that guy. Enough. These mistakes are killing me. But there's something about Matthew Tkachuk when he's going right. It just brings another essence to the Cats. It does. It's just another attitude. And it really felt like he was just flying around, bringing the intensity, setting his teammates up. He's such a pain in the ass to play against, but I really feel like he's been nothing but an antagonist in this series. And so for him to actually produce something for the Panthers, they do the little line switch up, Paul Maurice trying to get Verhaeghe going. So you put Erod with him. I just felt like something clicked there. And a lot of it coincided with Chucky getting going. So I don't know. I'm not nervous. Leroy.
No,
I was depressed down 3-0. I was ready to hit the bottle, but then when Tkachuk scored, I felt okay.
Here's the thing. Is that if you've been paying attention to these playoffs, this is kind of, remember a couple of years ago, we say this is where this team lives. Down 3-1, down, 2-0 in the game. Edmonton's been doing this all playoffs. So you had to expect some kind of pushback, because they've been living up against it these whole playoffs. So I knew it was coming. But I just thought that this team is to a place where they've been through so much that they're not going to let a team come in and outwork them.
Yeah,
and skate faster than them and kind of dominate them that way, because they've always been that team.
They've been doing such dumb stuff and so unnatural to what they've been doing. It's hard not to feel like the idea of them getting the cup has affected them a little bit.
Once the game starts, though, you ain't thinking that, dude.
There's no way that, but dude, come on.
You
You may say that.
Once you get hit in the mouth.
I get you, dude. And Paul Maurice says the same thing where he's like, momentum's not a thing. That's been complete bull bleep. Momentum has been a huge thing in this series for both teams.
Well, yeah, no. We're talking about two different things. Like, momentum during the course of a game occurs no matter what the conditions of the game are, regardless of what the prize is at the end of the game. What I'm saying is, once that game starts, you are now playing hockey. The stakes of that hockey game are irrelevant because you're just playing the game.
Look, you're a competitor. You've done it at the highest level, but I don't believe you. I believe squeaky cheeks affected them and affected them.
When you're getting hit and when you're getting...
Dude, the cheeks were squeaky. And I'll tell you what didn't help with it.
That's the easy answer.
No,
that's
I'm telling you.
the easy answer to say why they lost. They got a little tight. No, dude, once the game starts, you're playing hockey.
I didn't recognize those cats. Those aren't my cats. And then by the end, I was like, my cats are back.
So let me get this straight. When they started skating faster and playing better, they loosened up a little bit?
When Tkachuk scored, yeah, it loosened things up. It did, because he's just a jolt, dude. It is.
I know. I listen. I look at that as a player who's a leader on that team that said, I have to do something to change this.
Yeah, especially because
that's not squeaky. That's not squeaky cheeks.
But especially because he's been doing nothing.
Right. Again, that's what leaders do.
Squeaky cheeks were there, dude. I'm telling you.
Dude, you have to understand. When you get hit the first time, when that game starts, it's 20 minutes for 3 periods, right? You don't know what you're trying to play in that moment, in that period, right? You don't know what the ramifications are. Like you think,
how can you not?
You think these professionals are out there going, well, if we score here, we can get it close. Or if we do, no, they're thinking this way.
But
this is how they're thinking. That, hey, we're getting outplayed. We got to go out and play better.
I understand, but like we just saw this weekend in the U.S. Open, like how do you not have that element of I'm this close to a lifelong dream? I'm this close, and you're saying like it can have.
If that's what you're thinking, if that's what you're thinking, you don't deserve the cup.
Yeah, but they haven't played like they deserve the cup. Like that's kind of my point. Like they've looked unrecognizable. I'll give some credit to the Oilers. I mean, McDavid's tore him a new bleep hole. He's been amazing, but they've also made some really like heinous mistakes that we have not seen. That has not been a recognizable Florida Panthers team.
The shorties we've been seeing all playoffs, and I've been saying stuff about it the whole damn playoffs, and then you just brushed it off, and I'm like, man, does it seem like the other team gets more breakaways on power plays for the Panthers?
You have noticed that. Well, that's why we call you a hockey guru.
No, it's just, listen, it's just noticeable. It is really noticeable that the other team shouldn't be threatening to score if you're on the power play. And their power play has been horrendous.
It really makes you want to hurt things.
Right. I don't understand when Edmonton's on the power play, they go back around, and I used to always get mad at this. They passed around the outside. Guys are skating in the middle, looking for a little room. Then bam, shot. Right? Shot after shot. When the Panthers do this, boom, 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 the guy's going the other way.
They should go to Paul Maurice, the refs. They should go to Paul Maurice and be like, you want to decline? Like in football.
4-on-4, I feel even worse.
I haven't. The 4-on-4 has been like the 4-on-4 has felt better than even the 5-on-4 has.
But it's so I'm not worried for this reason. These guys have been through this. They have been consistent with what they have been saying from day one. And this is when that pays off. This is where that pays off. Because unlike they're not thinking, oh no, we're blowing the cup. They're thinking, because that's what they've said all year, hey, we got to fix some stuff. This is what we need to do. And they take care of the matter at hand. So that's why I'm not worried about it. And when I was talking about how these guys have been consistent with their message all year, these are the moments that pays. These are the moments where things look bleak, where your message has been consistent and you can go out and just play a hockey game. And I just say, again, I'm going to say the same thing. It's Wednesday right now. Until Friday, I'm going to say the same thing because it's been evident throughout this whole playoffs. The first 10 minutes will give you an idea of the mindset of this hockey team, because they have played almost the whole postseason like, let's feel our way around for the first 5-10 minutes of this hockey game and then turn it up. And then when we get to the second and third quarter, if we have a lead, third period, if we have the lead, then we can take care of business.
Well, let's get some headlines quickly because we've had a busy morning as far as news is concerned. Headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
We'll hear from some of the parties from the Cats coming up later this hour. But NBA news this morning, Pascal Siakam has signed a max extension with the Indiana Pacers. He signs a 4-year, $189.5 million max extension. And that is interesting just because you see your first own free agent agree to his deal. So worth noting that now we can keep an eye on the Donovan Mitchells of the world. Will he stay with Cleveland, even though he's in France right now? I don't know. Jimmy Butler, of course, is on the table. Bam Adebayo on the table. So you could talk and sign your own guys now. And it does feel like a day after the Celtics win the championship. NBA news is rolling in. The big stunning news this morning is Monty Williams fired by the Pistons after 1 season. Still has 5 years, $65 million left on his deal after
Can I
signing.
tell you? Bad organizations make bad decisions. Bringing Monty in did more for that franchise and giving them credibility than they care to admit. And now they fired him. You get what you deserve, right? There is not a person walking the face of the earth in that sport that doesn't think Monty Williams is an excellent basketball coach and an all-around good dude. And you need people like that in your organization because it's going nowhere.
It's also like, who the hell wants that job? I mean, I know there's only 30 of them, but like, who the hell wants that job? Like, would Chris Quinn leave for the Pistons job?
No.
I don't know if he would either.
He would, because guess what? For the same reason why they owe Monty Williams 5 years, $65 million.
Would Spo ask him, "Are you sure?"
Like, and Chris Quinn would be like, "I'm gonna go get that cheddar, baby." Right? Once here, you got to take the job and get into the cycle.
I understand
because once you get into it, that means now you get interviewed for other jobs, and then they say, well, and then the rest of the league looks at that Detroit situation and say, well, that was a clown show.
Yeah, that's the James Borrego experience because he was with the Hornets. So, and now he's one of the hotter candidates. Probably either going to get the Cavs or the Lakers job, even though the Lakers job is definitely going to JJ Redick. I don't know what the hell's taking so long.
Right.
Just hire JJ Redick already.
So yeah, like
65
bad
million.
organizations make bad decisions and they do it over and over and over again. Just look at sports. Look at the bad organizations and just think of the decisions that they've made in the last 3 or 4 years.
Atlanta Falcons.
Right. Right. They drafted a guy and then they signed a guy to a guaranteed contract with an Achilles tear.
Well, we'll take a quick break. Lots to get to here on the show. We will keep an eye if any more NBA news breaks. But yes, Monty Williams fired after 1 season, still owed $65 million by the Pistons. We'll take a break. Back with more after this. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover law firm? Your accidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
It is mostly cloudy out here. Winds coming out of the east at about 15 plus miles an hour. And I would expect a passing shower maybe this evening because it's that time of year. And I would say it's relatively mellow, 87, 88 degrees.
Matt says it's Jack's fault. No rhythm on that drum. Look, we had this debate yesterday about Jack Nicklaus doing the drum. I will say this. Adorable. He was adorable. I don't necessarily know if it got everybody fired up. That was kind of my whole point the whole time. But undoubtedly, it was adorable to see that old man hit a drum. He looked like a little toddler. But he didn't really give he didn't have the oomph into it, Leroy. It was almost like a pleasant little tap.
Waddle, baby, waddle, call him the olden bear.
Look, I'll say this about the Panthers. Their heart was in the right place. But yeah. I don't know if I don't know if they'll be going back to the Golden Bear anytime soon.
No.
Did you get the Goosies as a man who loves
listen, let's be clear. I hope they don't have to bang that drum ever again.
Agreed. But did you get the Goosies still seeing him up there, or were you like, he should be napping?
I didn't get the energy that needed to get me going into the game.
Moment.
Right. Like he was not very but what do you expect?
Well, that was my point.
But I think it's more the drum of the person than the matter in which they bang the drum.
What do you mean?
It's Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, but he didn't bang the drum. He tapped the drum, which is understandable. The old aren't very good at banging instruments.
The old aren't very good at banging, period.
Well, I don't know. They say those nursing homes.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
They say it runs rampant over there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dan, did you get the Goosies from watching the Golden Bear yesterday?
No. Got the opposite of that. I wanted to go to sleep. I thought about if I'm 25 years or younger, I'm kind of looking around like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Everybody knows Jack Nicklaus. We've been through this.
Sure.
No,
Yes.
the old know who
They
Jack
said the
Nicklaus
guy that
is.
arrested Justin Timberlake the other day didn't even know who he was.
That was crazy. I read that. I
How
read
do
that
they know
story too.
Jack Nicklaus is
The guy, Justin Timberlake, allegedly was, they were trying to be like, yeah, do you know who I am? Do you know who this is? And apparently the officer was so young, he didn't have any idea who Justin Timberlake was.
So young.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I mean, Justin Timberlake was the last hit that he had, probably when.
He just released an album, you jackass.
Dude, we could talk about, okay, name a hit off of it.
I don't.
Exactly.
I mean, it just came out.
Okay, but Leroy, he hasn't been a smash hit star in a while. His most famous thing that he's done recently is Trolls. That's the facts.
Hey, I agree with Dolphin Kane.
Mm.
Shirtless kid needs to bang the drum.
Did you see Bill Zito yesterday after the game?
No.
Yeah.
This was on Sportsnet afterwards, the Canadian feed. So here he is in the red tie, Panthers GM.
They all have red ties.
The guy who's looks like the boss, Leroy. He's suited and booted. You'll see him in a rage after the empty netter. And this is when he has to wait one more game, picks up the phone and throws in a rage, throws the water bottle after Tkachuk makes an unbelievable effort play with 20 seconds left to go save an empty netter. Unfortunately, Connor McDavid was right there to get his 4th point, which has been done in back-to-back games by him, never been done in the Stanley Cup. That poor water bottle. Todd, the intern's going to have to clean that up.
No, I had the top on. Oh, they get tops there. If I go buy water, they take my top.
You're not taking Bill Zito's top, dude. That's not happening. No way.
Yeah,
let's
that's
hear-
right. Timbo Slice said he was probably thinking about that damn flight to Edmonton.
Probably. It's
I
not
know.
good
That's
to
what I
see.
said. Why they all dressed like the same, like Men in Black? They were all
Because-
dressed in black and red ties.
Because Leroy, he's the boss, and there are probably a bunch of stool pigeons who have to like, Mr. Zito, whatever you say. Todd, give me that hockey report. And give me a fresh bottle of water. Whatever you say, Mr. Zito. He probably has to go pick up his dry cleaning. He goes, you better be wearing exactly what I'm wearing.
You think that?
Hmm?
No.
Listen.
But I will say this. If that's the owner's box or the Panthers box,
Mhm.
that's the first box I've seen in any sport where everybody's dressed is suited. They're
Dress code.
usually not suited like that.
Dress code, dude.
Well, maybe because they thought they were going to win the cup.
I think that's how they always dress.
But yeah, that's crazy, right? No other sport does that.
I don't know.
If
I
you
don't
look,
know.
if you
The last
show
time
the-
I remember when we see Stephen Ross's box, he's just got the business shirt so he can waddle, you know.
right, but I'm just saying, like, it's not. That's the only sport, even basketball. When you see the guys in the suite, Mickey and all those
I
guys.
think Chris Greer wears a jacket, and I think he classes it up for a game.
But okay, one guy. I'm saying
Oh.
you don't see a whole room full of suits.
I guess I don't know. This is a take I have no take on.
Right. All right.
Here's Paul Maurice yesterday. Matthew Tkachuk got it going yesterday, and here's what he had to say on that.
Momentum's not an issue. We played a hell of a game. You know, we give up a shorthanded goal. That's got to stop. That's two. For the first time, you know, we got the stick on some hands there for the first time and ended up in the penalty box for it. So we're going to have to be real mindful of that because we know that's going to lead to a penalty. And then after that, the 5-on-5 game was pretty good. I think we had 4 chances, 4-1, 5-on-5 in the first period. So we like that. Had a few, really good looks at times, but it's not about chances. I didn't mind our game. I thought we were all right. I think we should be intensely interested in the next one and see how that's played.
Schmieden says, who was worse, Zito or Ken Dorsey? By far, Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey
The
took
best
4
words. The best words he said. That intense, right?
Mhm.
So, like, I know, like, you got to match it from the get-go. They're desperate. They have to win.
Yeah, but I think I definitely think that the Panthers found something, especially with Tkachuk getting going. Here was Matthew Tkachuk. He was asked if the Cats are feeling pressure, and this is what the Panthers star had to say.
No. I mean, it's not an elimination. It's not an elimination game for us. Right now we're going up there. We have a 3-2 series lead. We've just got to take care of business like we did in Game 3.
Gutless Nick. He says, "Don't care what anyone says. Cats are cooked. We don't deserve anything. Hopefully, relocation is coming." All right, he's banned. JFig, ban him from the chat. You know what? I'll do it. Banned. See you, Nick.
Wow.
Just banned him. No cowards in my chat. See you.
I just like again. I just
You
think
can
it's
call, I mean, like if Nick wants to call in and beg for mercy, and I'll unban him. He can do that 305-567-0560.
Wait. Somebody
banned
puts that message there. You think that call is going to go with begging for forgiveness?
He better. He's banned.
What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
Like, read the room. And he topped it off with relocation.
Yep. See ya. You're out.
So
He's
here-
either an Edmonton. He's either an Edmonton troll or a coward, and I don't want either one here.
again, I want people to understand
Mm-hmm.
that when people are playing with urgency and desperation, right? If you don't match that, you give them hope. And that's kind of what happened the last 2 games, right? The first game, 3-0, you're like, oh, we ain't going out like this on our home floor. I'll give you that. But when you come back here and they get off to that start where they're skating all over the place and you're not matching their intensity, then I get a little concerned, right? But Paul Maurice said it best. Intense. This has to be, you have to play the way you've been playing all year. You've been stifling, smothering. You've been like just wearing teams out. And when you watch these last two games, get to the end of the game, they still got energy. You haven't beat them up enough. You haven't war on them enough.
I see. That's the thing is, that's again, by the end of the game, the Cats were pretty dominant in this game by the end of it.
But that's okay. So then it changed. So you're down 4-1, then you start playing desperate. What I'm saying is that if you don't match that from the beginning, you're gonna be playing catch up Friday.
But I thought PK made a good point. PK Subban after the game, he goes like, when these games get tighter, your stars have to play like stars, and the Panthers haven't had Matthew Tkachuk play like a star until last night,
right?
And that's a big factor that's changed for them.
Yeah,
now, I mean, I guess what you could say on the other side is like the Oilers really haven't had Draisaitl do diddly squat. He's still maybe due to erupt. I mean, McDavid's playing all world right now. I don't know what could stop him.
That's the only guy on the ice that it almost seems like he's playing with children. Like the way he moves the puck and they swat at it and it does nothing to him. The way he stops and starts and moves, like it's amazing.
Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Play a little Rats Off a Ship later on in today's program. Another big loss in the sports world yesterday, Leroy.
Say hey.
Oh, no.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays, 93 years old. Arguably the GOAT. I mean, like, the guy.
What he did on the baseball field is unmatched. End of discussion.
Barry Bonds, of course, it's his Godfather. He posted yesterday. He says, "I'm beyond devastated and overcome with emotion. I have no words to describe what you mean to me. You helped shape me to who I am today. Thank you for being my Godfather and always being there. Give my dad a hug for me. Rest in peace, Willie. I love you forever."
Yep.
Damn.
There's very here. Think about this. There's very few people in the sports world that were his age that if you mentioned his name, everybody knew who he was. Right? Like you can talk about players that played when he played, but it all starts with him. Everybody knew who he was. And he has iconic moments. He has back then when being a 5-tool player was a rarity.
Yep.
He was all that. I mean, there's only there's only 3 players to have 600 home runs and 300 stolen bases.
Dude, these numbers are sick.
They're sick, right?
23.
Think about
23.
this. The times in which he played baseball. Like that goes, like we talk about, being able to perform in certain situations. But we can't even comprehend the life situations that these men had to play under when they started their careers and they played through their careers.
301 in 23 years. On base percentage, 384. Slugging, 557. Oh my God. 660 home runs, 339 stolen bases. Whew.
Like, again, you take those numbers and you mention them. I don't care who you put those numbers on. The greatest.
Yep.
Like in every aspect of his sport, as far as home runs, as far as fielding, as far as stolen bases, the ultimate baseball player. He did everything but pitch.
The catch.
Yeah.
In the damn polo grounds. Crazy, dude. Dade South says, and Micah Parsons thinks he can hit 200.
Yeah.
Man, that's crushing. Man, we've had him, Jerry West in a week's time. Just lost Bill Walton. Pretty wild, man. Wild times. But that was that was a tough one. And yeah, my immediate thought went to Barry Bonds after that happened because of his Godfather. And
yep.
I mean, probably the only one you could argue is there with him. Yeah. I mean, obviously when turned into the Hulk, he wasn't quite the fielder that he was in Pittsburgh in his first years, but then became like the most terrifying home run hitter of all time.
Now, I always ask this question about baseball, and they say steroids help you recover, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. But the hardest thing in the world to do is hit a baseball. And I always wonder, what role does that play in it? Because you can be strong as an ox. It don't mean you can hit a baseball. And Barry Bonds would sometimes get one pitch per at bat.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, he's the only guy. Is he the only guy that we know of that has been walked with the bases loaded?
Right. Like that's how terrified people were of him.
No thanks.
Right. So I always wonder, and I get the baseball purists will say what they say, but he was a Hall of Famer before all of the accusations. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So-
Him not being in the well, it's the thing that's dumb about it is, you know, him not being in the Hall of Fame and some of the people who are now inducted into the Hall of Fame who
It
if you
takes
have-
the Hall of Fame, I think, because how are you going to tell their
absolutely.
story without telling Barry Bonds' story?
It absolutely does. You know, it absolutely does. And then the idea, like, look, I love Pudge Rodriguez. They were actually just showing, like, people were playing this week on Twitter was the Jeff Conine throw to Pudge Rodriguez, where they throw out JT Snow. One of the coolest endings to a game I've ever been to.
Yep.
And I mean, dude, Pudge Rodriguez. What are we talking about? You think that guy wasn't sauced up to the? Did you see him in Detroit the next year after he got a 4-year deal? And he said he gave up McDonald's.
Here's the problem, though. The problem is this has less to do about steroids and more to do with your interaction with the media, right? And it sucks.
Yeah,
that
the
we-
media hated him.
And so that's where this comes from. And the media love Pudge. The
I
media
don't know
love
if
Big.
they love
The
Pudge.
media love Big Papi.
But I don't know if the media loved Pudge, but I know that the media hated Barry Bonds. But Big Papi, you're right. Big
They
Papi's
love Big Papi.
Love Big
right?
Papi. Big Papi's on a steroid list.
Right.
And I don't care. I want them all in the Hall of Fame. Clemens, Bonds, McGuire, Sosa. Put them all in. But anyway.
And so it becomes not who did steroids, but give us a reason because we don't like this guy not to put him in.
That being said,
And it taints it.
what's fair is fair. You think Willie Mays has ever, do you think he ever had a conversation with Barry and he goes, give me that juice. See how good I'd be?
I think Willie Mays was the one person who could have a conversation with Barry Bonds and Barry Bonds would shut up and listen.
Probably. Yeah.
And so yeah.
Man. Well, incredibly sad. I mean, 93 is obviously a great life run, but that's just been losing a lot
Still
of
sad, still sad. You know what I mean? But here's the deal. We're telling stories, Willie Mays stories and Barry Bonds stories on Juneteenth. And we wouldn't normally have done that unless, something tragic like this happened. I wouldn't say tragic. He lived till he was 93 years old. Right? And was probably one of the most loved guys in baseball.
He almost feels like, and I know they have Jackie Robinson today. Like he feels like a guy they need to honor in some way, the game. Like
the reason why they honor Jackie Robinson because of the color barrier.
I understand, but
and so it's different. Like basically, when you look at stuff like that, he paved the way for Willie Mays.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? And that's why he gets his day like that. Now, I will say this: the Giants should do something.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm sure they will. But yeah, rest in peace to Willie Mays getting that news yesterday during the Stanley Cup Final. We'll take a break. Hour Tua coming up next.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Chris Sims can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Our Tua of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to our headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
One more time, Leroy. Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks. What happened?
I really like that. I really like that Marlins hoodie. Just want to say.
Yeah.
Marlins walk-off win last night, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ooh. You see Jazz Chisholm, he threw the water or the Gatorade container, got nothing but Jessica Blaylock. Just got the sideline reporter. Just completely she's hey! Made TMZ this morning. They're like Jazz Chisholm and walk-off moment, completely misses player, gets sideline reporter.
Usually they take cover every time there's a walk-off, and that you talking to the guy.
He was rushing it. Like he just came, he came reporter side. Normally they sneak around the back of the player.
Yeah.
So she was like right in the line of fire. But you know what? That's why she's boots on the ground. She's been doing it. She's her and Kelly Blanco. They know the deal. Menervini, you got to watch out. Head on a swivel. Head on a swivel. Panthers, they lose game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final 5-3. Series goes back to Edmonton, game 6 on Friday. So 2 days off for the Cats as they will try and regroup. They're still up 3-2 in this series, and of course can close this puppy out. Matthew Tkachuk definitely showing some signs of life. That was good news. But here was Paul Maurice. He speaks after the game and says, not too right now. We're not deflated, but he describes what they're feeling right now.
I'm not pumping tires. I'm not rubbing backs. I don't think we need that at all. Everybody feels probably exactly the way I do right now. So I'm not feeling deflated. Neither's the hockey team. They're not feeling deflated. A little grumpy.
I'm not pumping.
Good.
tires.
Grumpy is what gets you to play pissed off. That's
Grumpy is good.
Grumpy is good.
He said I'm not pumping tires.
I just like, yeah, man. I really love that the message has been consistent the whole season when things haven't gone well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing. When everybody can maintain their composure, stay in character, stay focused on the job at hand, keep the same basic message from top to bottom. It's not going to always go smoothly, but at least right, that you can have a conversation about what needs to be done. And it doesn't come from, anger or people being mad or whatever. And the guys have responded to that all year.
Do you worry at all about our boy Sergei Bobrovsky?
No, because again, here's what has happened. I've been watching these damn breakaways and these 3-on-2s and these 2-on-1s all playoffs, and Bob has been great at covering up a lot of those mistakes. Right? In the last 2 games, he hasn't been able to, but the issues haven't gone away. And so now you're just seeing the issues cost you. So it's not that I'm worried about him, but again, the other message that has been passed on to us throughout the course of the year, Bob is being able to play better because we're not asking him to stop a shot every time. We have defenders in front of him. We're doing our job defensively. And so now when you get these breakaways, you're basically asking him to save you a number of times during the course of a game.
The only one I was disappointed in, but also mesmerized by was the McDavid goal. Because I'm like,
how did it get through?
And I think that's just the thing is like, I think Bob just took for granted this guy because he's a wizard, but I also don't know who stops that. I don't know, like you don't think he's going to score from there. So that's the only one because he definitely was not in any kind of position to save a puck. But I don't know how you even compute in your mind how this guy is going to score.
There's no way he's going to shoot it from there. He's going around back.
He's going to pass. Yeah, he's going to pass in front.
So he's probably waiting. He's probably got an eye out in the middle of the floor thinking somebody's coming in. You know what I mean?
I think that when, because they were saying at the end, they're like, Bob looks a little jittery, and I agreed with him. Like he was a little on pucks, and he looked better in the third. But I think when a guy scores a goal like that, you want to talk about reset, refocus. You need a minute. I think I need a minute. Right. If a guy scores a goal like that, that's almost like getting dunked on, from the foul line, and you're like, how? Right. How did that happen? Remember when Gabe Vincent got absolutely destroyed by Anthony Edwards, but they called it a charge?
He needed a timeout just to go and refocus.
Yeah, I was like, what? I would need time. If I saw a guy use this sorcery, they say he's McJesus, but I think he has a deal with the devil. I don't understand what he's able to do. This is ridiculous. Right. And he just really, if we get to a game 7, it's not out of the realm of possibility he passes Gretzky. It's not, for the record. He already passed one of the Gretzky. This Gretzky was good, huh? I mean, he has 4 of the top 5.
Yeah, and McDavid has the other one.
Crazy. But he does need I'm really, I don't think Bob has played his best, but I don't think the Panthers have played their best. I kind of feel like he's been in line with everybody. And I felt, he had a nice one on a breakaway yesterday during the 4-on-4 in the third period. I was like, all right, I think everybody feels a little bit settled down. And like you said, Tkachuk says they're not desperate, but I think they know what they got to do. And I'm just, the only thing that sucks, Leroy, honestly, even though I don't know if the rest is good or bad, I just wish the game was tomorrow. 2 days to have to wait to get back at it after you feel like you found maybe something. I would, but they play basically on the other side of the world. So what are you going to do?
Right. I just, and again, I would feel so much worse if I hadn't heard the same message all year, right? Win or lose. When they were up 3-1, they were pretty, nobody said we're one win away from winning the Stanley Cup. So I didn't feel as if they were thinking that, or that was in the back of their mind. I always felt they thought one game at a time, let's go and take care of this game. The thing that I would say that I did worry about is when you're playing a desperate team and you tend to start off slow, that's a recipe for disaster. And that's what's kind of happened, big leads early, right? So I just think when this game starts on Friday, they need to match the intensity early. And we'll know within the first 5-10 minutes of the game how that's working out.
What do you think Bill Zito does? Do you think he has to go find a punching bag after the bottle throw, or do you think he's good after that moment?
Push-ups.
with the suit on or the suit off?
Oh, at that point,
with the sleeves.
The suit doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He just look. It's again. His frustration cannot be the player's frustration, right?
No, because he can't control it.
Right. Management's frustration is a lot different than players' frustration. You still can't forget the fact they're up 3-2.
Yep.
And
it's not the path you want to be 3-2.
It's not being up 3-2 is want to be 3-2.
ultimately being up 3-2 with a chance to clinch, having 2 chances to clinch the Stanley Cup is a good thing. You've blown 2 chances, but 3-2 is 3-2. If you would have gotten here a different route, you would have taken it every day.
Right.
Every day. And so you just got to look at it like that. And hope that you found something there towards the end of the game. Because yeah, it definitely has felt like an Oilers onslaught. It felt basically for 5 straight periods.
Right.
And now it feels like the Cats got back to something. We will take a break. When we come back, we will hear a little bit from our newest Miami Dolphin, who gave some thoughts on to joining the club. And anytime I can hear Calais Campbell's voice, it's a delight. That's next. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. Blink 182 is coming to the Calais Center with special guest Pierce the Veil this Friday. We got your chance to win a pair of tickets. Keep listening for details. This is a live nation show. Rumors today in the NBA world. Monty Williams was fired. James Borrego is now apparently on their radar because he's been kind of the hot candidate. That's not JJ Redick, because JJ Redick's going to get the Lakers job most likely. That seems all about a formality, and Borrego's been around the Cavs job. Now he apparently is rumored for the Pistons job. I don't know why you would want that Pistons job, especially like even if you knew Donovan Mitchell was going to leave. Like if you had the choice between the two.
Listen, it's like dating an ugly model. She's a model, right? You still go home at night and say, "Hey, I'm dating a model."
Yeah.
You know, but that's, he can say every day, I am a head coach in the NBA.
But how could you trust an organization like that?
You can't.
How?
For the same reason why people keep taking the Dallas Cowboys job.
Yeah, but the Cowboys job, he strings those coaches along.
For the same reason why people keep taking the job to coach LeBron.
But again, like that's a glory job. Like both of them, those are glory.
It's a
positions.
job. Who cares if you only go ahead for 2 years?
Dude, I understand, but there's a difference between being the Lakers Cowboys coach and being like the Pistons coach.
If you have it for 2 years,
the Lakers coach.
Yeah, it's a lot of eyes on you, but at the same time, I think the reason you would take the Pistons job is to get into that fraternity, because it seems like they just have a revolving door of coaches. So maybe you can get in that, like Budenholzer. How does he get paid that much money after the terrible job he did in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Minus the championship,
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that, though. You can't do that. Because when you hiring somebody, the first thing come out, you won a championship.
He again has to, like, Budenholzer does have to sit here and think to himself, how the hell did Jimmy Butler do that to Drew Holiday? Like he does, because that was the big criticism of him, is he wouldn't change and double up Jimmy Butler. He just kept going Drew Holiday. He's like, I trust Drew Holiday. He's one of the best defenders on the planet. And Jimmy Butler just kept feeding him buckets. And he just has to think to himself, he goes, I don't understand. It's Drew Holiday. And then he sees Drew Holiday win another championship. And he goes, but where was that last year?
Here's the difference, is that a lot of the guys that Jimmy guards, that Drew guards, or maybe a little bit taller but wiry, right? And he can actually put some body on him. Jimmy is as physical as he is. Jimmy can back him down. And now you got 5 inches. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference.
I know, but Drew Holiday can handle a lot of bigger guys. Jimmy was just
not bigger and physical. Jimmy is extremely physical.
I missed that jump shot. Oh, he was
Drew
awesome.
locked down Luka, you idiot. Did he? Did he? Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Because, by the way, Jimmy didn't put up those numbers, even though he put up good numbers. He didn't put up Luka numbers.
He did in that series. He put up 56 in one game.
Mm-hmm. Did do that.
Drew Holiday was broken by Jimmy Butler.
Yes, of course.
Anyway, so one man I don't know if Drew Holiday could guard this guy, Calais Campbell. He's a giant.
He by the way, if you ever talk to him, he is a gentle giant.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Same thing with McKinney. Like, it's hard to be that big and want to have fun, right? Like, ain't nobody looking at you like, that dude is a good time. No, you're not. Like, holy smokes.
Here was Calais Campbell yesterday speaking to the media. And he says, the reason he keeps playing is because I'm still good.
Physically, and the desire, the love for the game has never left, not even a little bit. Obviously, there was a time where I was a lot more fast and athletic, but I'm still pretty athletic and still can get the job done on the football field. I had to learn to use other parts of my game, bring in a lot more strength part, but I still have enough finesse and everything else. I got a full arsenal of tools. But what keeps me going though is a love for the game. Love for the game is number one. I really am just like a true fan that's lucky enough to play it. And I talk to guys that are younger. They're like, "Man, why you still do it?" And it's like, because I love it. I'm still good at it. I don't want to suck at it though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I quit.
You were just worried about sucking?
I was worried about being that dude.
What a prideful guy, man. You should have payroll banded in 1 year.
No,
One more.
That's not my thing. That was never my thing, right? You like when I was limping in July from last season's injuries, I knew it was time because I couldn't even put in any work, right? I was going to go into camp out of shape, still banged up, and I didn't want to do that. That's too much, too much.
Here's a little bit more of a Calais Campbell, of course, reuniting with Anthony Weaver. We refer to this on this show as the Bob and Weave defense. Here is knowing Anthony Weaver, a huge factor in him coming to the Fins.
Huge, because I definitely had quite a few teams interested, and I feel like the main reason why I wanted to come here was because I really believe in who Anthony Weaver is as a coach, and in our relationship. We talked a lot during the process, and just knowing that, he knows like what I'm capable of doing. He understands my mind and how I see the game, and he trusts me. And at this point in time in my career, every time you build relationships, you have to kind of reestablish trust. You have new people that you're interacting with. They got to kind of get to know you, who you are. Now, because of my pedigree and how long I've been in the league, it happens usually fast. But with somebody like Coach Weave, he knows I'm never going to try to hurt the team. I'm always going to be in position to try to do what's best for the team. But I take calculated risks sometimes, and try play with different techniques sometimes. But everything is calculated, and so we have those conversations on when we were working together in Baltimore of this is how I want to play it this week. It was never like some spur of the moment, just do what you feel. Every once in a while you trust your instincts, whatever. But most of the time it was calculated, it was planned, and but that belief and trust that he's going to allow me to do the things I know are going to make me be successful, and this team to be successful.
I literally could listen to this guy talk all day. I love that voice.
By phone. Because if he was staring at you right now, talking at you, you have some questions. How you feeling, big fella? Everything good? Can I get you a ice cold lemonade or something?
Do you think he's nice on the defensive line, or do you think he just tries to intimidate people with
There's
voice?
There's certain people. It's like Christian Wilkins. The thing that annoys everybody about him, he always having fun and laughing and smiling.
Yeah,
You're too big for that.
Yeah, you don't like that.
Right. And that's some people are just like that. Like, I don't know, it's because they enjoy the game. Like Calais said, he enjoys the game, but you always have those 2 or 3 guys on your team that are huge. In football, they enjoy it, and it's like a joke. Like they enjoy it so much, they enjoy making you miserable.
Here's one more from Calais. He says he plans on playing all over the defensive line.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play all over the place. Yes, we haven't really talked about how they want to use me, but just knowing Weave and his mindset, we're gonna move around a little bit in different situations. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do in this defense as far as packages and different ways of lining up and doing things. But yes, I'd be very surprised if I don't play literally every position of the D-line at some point in time in the season, certain games.
Hey, did you hear that little giggle? Huh. I'm like, hey, if that's your joking mode. But yeah, like every locker room has 2 or 3 of those dudes that strong as an ox. You hate practicing against them. I told you, John Randall. Like, you couldn't say nothing to John Randall because he was like that every day. Every day, just wide open, intense. and you're just like, all right. See, this is a me problem, but I got to deal with it. It is. You know, like that's part of life. You gotta be able to figure out, is it a you problem or the other person problem, right? Sometimes you just don't like things because that's who you are. Accept it and deal with it.
I don't know if it's going to be better or not because, like, Vic Fangio is obviously credentialed, but it does feel like
it gives them depth. And I'm not even looking at scheme right now, right? I'm looking at the guys they bringing in versus what they have. And right now, the glaring question is, how are you going to get some depth on that D line?
Yeah, especially early with
right, exactly. I don't know. I don't know if you really want to put that much pressure on the young guys. And I wonder, Calais is talking about moving around, if they will be limited based on those young guys who are going to have to play early.
Yeah, like we can't you can't expect Chop Robinson to roll out here and just be Lawrence Taylor.
Right, exactly. And that's not fair to him, right?
Yeah, who's the greatest football player of all time? He's good. He's good. You know Chop Robinson.
Every Friday, that dude came in and asked us the same question as if he had never met us.
He should have been
every week we would answer the same way, and he would respond the same. And it was like Groundhog Day.
Yep. He loved it though. He's like, oh, you guys do sports radio? Who's the greatest football player of all time? Same thing. I'd just be like, Jim Brown? No, he's good. He's good.
We sit there and laugh. But Dan, this went on for like 2 months. Every Friday, the guy would come in and ask the same question.
Should have known his answer with his Giants windbreaker, but no, he's good. Jim Brown?
I tell you what.
He's no Lawrence Taylor.
Listen, me and Bill Belichick was cool, right? But I'm going to tell y'all, and if y'all ever hear him talk about Lawrence Taylor, that dude loved him some LT. Right? There is no question. Like, LT, he loved him some LT. And I've never seen very many coaches. Like, he wasn't like that with Tom Brady.
Did you see, by the way, you see your boy Belichick?
What did he do?
His latest squeeze?
Nah.
24.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
He is taking this off time to a happy place, I guess.
I mean, she's younger than his son.
Yup. And he is and they have a picture of him in the post. She's taking a selfie of him because obviously he doesn't know how to do a selfie. And he is cheesing.
Oh, but I'd be cheesing too. He's 70.
Oh my God. How old is he? 72. Wow. All right.
Yeah, last night, Red Hot Chili Peppers, I couldn't believe it. Anthony Kiedis is 61.
Really?
He looks great for 61. You know how old his girlfriend is?
No idea.
19. What? How does that happen?
She not with Anthony Kiedis. She with the singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
He looks great for 61.
Does she even know who the Red Hot Chili Peppers are?
Maybe.
She does now. Hey, I ain't mad at him. See, here's what people don't understand. A relationship between two people is between them, and their reasons for being together is none of our damn business. You don't know what it is, right? Now we can look and make fun, but you can't say they ain't happy.
Old Bill pulling the DiCaprio, according to Schmeathan.
Yeah, but if you're a younger girl, you see Anthony Kiedis as cool, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Bill Belichick?
Maybe she likes football.
You can't explain it, dude. Like the relationship between those two, right? We might not be able to comprehend it, but they look happy, right? For right now, good.
Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Take you up until 2 here on the program. We will talk later on in the show to David Feldman, president of BKFC. I believe he will not. He will be tracked down this time around, and also play Rats Off a Ship. But let's mix it on up. The mixed bag brought to you by Broward Health. Well into your future. Leroy, are you familiar with ESPN's Jonathan Givony? He is their draft guru for the NBA draft.
No, I am not.
All right. Well, he yesterday was on ESPN, and he was saying that some interesting things are going on with Bronny in the pre-draft process, and that is that hard for teams to get a workout with him. Here was Jonathan Givony on ESPN. Talking some Bronny James.
I don't think it'll surprise anybody that we have him 55th to the Lakers. This is the way that it's been trending for years now. NBA teams that I talk to say they cannot get Bronny James into their building. Teams that are drafting in the late 20s and the 30s. The Phoenix Suns have a second workout scheduled with Bronny later this week. But other than that, we have not seen any NBA team be able to work him out. The sense among teams is that his agent, Rich Paul, does not want him on a two-way contract. The range that he's going to be picked, that 40 to 58 range, those are where two-way contracts are handed out. So it's looking right now like Bronny James is going to slide there to 55. I don't think any NBA team wants to pick him and deal with the repercussions of that. So that's the way it's trending as of today.
So this, he said 40 to the 50s, huh?
So my question is this.
Yep.
You don't determine what your contract is. Your talent does.
Yep.
And to say he don't want a two-way contract, that might be what his talent will dictate.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand why, like you ain't there. And so for whatever reason, you can't say, I'm not my dad, I want to pay my own way, while saying I'm 40 to 55, I ain't gonna do no two-way contract. Right? You get in like you get in, and then once you get there, then you show what you can do.
Well, it also feels very much like Rich Paul is flexing his muscle on the Lakers, right? Like they're gonna get the head coaching candidate that they want. They're riding off into these last LeBron years. LeBron's gonna do what he wants. What does he want? He wants his son on his team. Remember there was the report last year that he had said in the locker room that there are guys on this team who aren't, that Bronny could help even better than they can. So look, you're LeBron James, you're the all-time leading scorer, you have all the rings. Don't you kind of want to do what you want? Like they're not going to not stink.
Listen, I'm not mad at all LeBron is doing and Rich Paul is doing or whatever. LeBron has earned the right to do all these things. Bronny has not. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, in any business, if somebody gets a job that doesn't deserve it, you're going to have a problem on that team. It happens in work.
Yeah, but we do see the nepotism. Is nepotism for siblings too? Does that count? Or is that only dad's son? We see the family time.
We see this family.
We see the Antetokounmpos having roster spots. Zoran Dragic had a roster spot. It's not uncharted waters in the NBA, right?
What about Thanos?
This is kind of, yeah, exactly. Thanasis Antetokounmpo. That guy doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
This is, look, the end of the NBA roster. This was always my argument with people who were like, you got to get rid of UD. I'm like, why? For what? Like, the 13th guy doesn't play in the playoffs. Who cares?
Right.
It's okay to have a roster spot in the NBA that's for vibes. It's cool. I'm good with it. So if LeBron James,
can I just say this? You, my friend.
What?
Let's talk about some of your hot takes on the day. Who cares about that 13th bench guy?
Yep.
Right? And I want athletes to be able to pump as much steroids as possible. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's your 2 hot takes for the day.
Yes.
Then wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why did you make fun of me for making fun of UD sitting on the end of the bench?
Because I don't like it. It's disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
But
you just said
it's still a level above people who didn't want him there because they wanted Jamal Cain to have a standard contract.
Right. I
like Jamal Cain. I'm probably the biggest Jamal Cain fan out there.
Right.
But it's like, you're going to kick UD to the curb for Jamal Cain having a standard contract? Like, come on. It's
Right.
UD. You get to go out on his own terms.
Right.
So people are going to have issue with LeBron James having his son on the team. I get it, but come on, dude. It's not like this is not unheard of in this league.
Right. I got you. All right.
I really don't have a problem with it. Now, what I would like, he says 40-50 range. He'd swoop in there at 43. Pluck him. And what's LeBron going to do? What's a better place for your son to develop than here? Nowhere, dude. Best organization developing players. So then he's got a fake like, oh, Heat culture, I'm happy. But he's pissed. So then he's got to make a stink, determined, do I want to go play with Bam? We'll see. We'll find out next week.
Why didn't you mention Jimmy?
Interesting. Speaking of the Lakers, Jay Williams, he himself was a high draft pick before
crashed his motorcycle.
Yeah, that was tough. But Jay Williams, now NBA and college basketball ESPN analyst, he says JJ Redick is going to be the Lakers coach, and he wishes him the best.
And I feel like you have the Los Angeles Lakers that are trying to figure out with J.J. Redick, a first-time head coach. We wish them all the best of luck with LeBron James in his twilight years. Granted, they're still there. They still have a chance to contend, but, I mean, you're going to give the edge to Boston in a really big way.
Man, just wishing him luck. Hey, good luck. Enjoy that Lakers job with LeBron being old. He's still good, though.
And you're a first-time coach, too. So
wait, so can we call somebody old when they still average, 25, 26?
Yes.
All right.
Old is old.
Okay.
He's not Jack Nicklaus old. Like, I feel like LeBron.
Then can we call Jimmy old?
No, not yet.
So we can call LeBron old, average what? How many did he average? 26?
Got to be in your late 30s.
No. I'm looking at production as far as determining old.
Okay.
So,
I mean, Jimmy still produced. Not like Jimmy fell off.
When I see LeBron's numbers start falling, then I'm gonna say, okay, he's getting old. Until then, he's still putting up better numbers than some of these guys on some of these teams.
He's very good. He's good. And finally, you familiar with Teron Armstead, Leroy?
Yes.
Dolphins left tackle. He was on the Ross Tucker football podcast.
What? He's doing podcasts now?
He was doing a podcast. It's not his podcast.
We have to find him.
He is saying that he has spoken to Tua about his contract negotiations. Says it's gonna be all right, baby. You're gonna be the highest paid.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my little brother, man, and he's I'm somebody that he respects. From my play to my opinion to the way I carry myself. So yeah, he's opened up and reached out, and we've talked through numerous situations and contracts specifically for sure we have. And he's gonna be one of the highest paid ever. Whenever that comes across ESPN and Sports Center and all those good things, but it will be. He's an elite quarterback. He's one of the top guys in the league. He's able to do things that very few on earth can. And with that business stuff, this is what I try to tell him. And this is, you kind of hear this as you've been in the league, which you know, Ross, is the human nature of taking the negotiations personal or making things personal. It's tough not to. Because you get in a negotiation, they bring up injuries, they bringing up this game, they bringing up, you know what I mean? Like, damn, you know? But it's part of this level of the art of negotiation. It's leverage. It's, you know, so yeah, I think his patience has been great, man. He's been handling everything as a professional. He's still leading our team, and he will be one of the highest paid.
There you go. Teron Armstead on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Well, and it does speak to what Tua was talking about, right? Like Tua gave voice to having some trouble separating the business from the personal, taking things personal. So you go to your vet there, Teron Armstead, say, hey, it's gonna be all right, baby. You're gonna be real rich.
Right.
I would like Teron Armstead to not get hurt as much this year, though. I don't know what I got to do. I don't know what football gods I got to make a sacrifice to, because I do feel like we're lining up for him missing another 5 games at least this year.
If we can get him to 15 games, that's a win.
Oh, dude, I would take it right now. I would take that right. If you told me, hey, guaranteed he misses 2, I'd be like, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'd sacrifice a chicken.
Wow.
Fried up with some seasoning from Popeyes.
David says, not a chance that happens. Come on, man.
Like we can look here's this. It's the time of year where you hope and you have dreams. Reality don't set until football season starts. So right now we just wishing, baby.
Yep. Although his last 3 years, he's played 8 games, 13 games, 10 games. Ooh.
Really, Leroy, a chicken is Juneteenth. Yeah, I like watermelon too. What they got to do with it? I don't know what to tell it. I don't know what to tell people. Right?
I don't know if they get what you're referencing, Leroy. It's very common practice.
No, they don't like. But should I go and get a chicken foot over at the shop back home? They don't know nothing about that either.
I don't know.
Right? Should I go get a doll? Go to the voodoo place?
Oh, I wanted to ask Dan Day about this. Dan Day. Because I had a New Orleans thing that Leroy was stumped on. He never had heard it. Have you ever heard of the Rookin?
The Rookin?
Yeah.
Not the Rougarou?
I don't know what that is.
Rookin.
Yeah.
No.
A demon shark in the rivers of Louisiana.
Hey.
I watched an entire thing on this, dude. I swear to God, neither one of you have heard of it.
Hey, you could get everybody outside of the state of Louisiana with that show.
I swear to God, that's what they said. I was like, oh, the lore of the Rookin. I'm like, what? So they said it was a voodoo shark.
Hey, can I just tell you something? If you go to them same waters looking for the Rookin, you get ate up by 5 or 6 other animals before the Rookin show up.
Oh, dude. We'll take a break. We'll get back to some cat talk. Your Panthers come up short yesterday in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. Back after this. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hi.
How are your guts right now? You feeling good? You seemed pretty shaken last night with the Cats' loss.
I wasn't shaken. I was just very annoyed by it because I just really wanted to celebrate and get it over with. But I never lost faith in my Cats.
I really thought they were going to win, especially after the Ekman-Larsson goal. I thought that everything was riding their way. I thought one was going to break. That one Reinhardt look, I thought he had it, Leroy. That move that he puts on there on Skinner at the end, I'm like, he's got it, and boom, wasn't able to break through.
I've got to say also that Matthew Tkachuk save towards the end was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it was a balls out play. It really was. It was all effort. I mean,
he just threw his entire body trying to save the game.
Haven't seen him play like that in a while, where he's been just the juice for the team, and they needed it in a big way. Let's get to the rest of our cat talk here. Brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, out when it's game time, make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
So, yes, yesterday the Cats lose 5-3 to the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid's just been on one. He's been incredible. And the Panthers get down 3-0. Entire building is deflated until Matthew Tkachuk finally gets the Cats on the board. Broke a streak. What was it, 12 straight goals at that point? Something like that?
Yeah, 11, it was ridiculous.
Right? Yeah, it was ridiculous. But they it was like 11 out of 12 or something like that. It was crazy. But finally, it felt like in the middle of that second period that play had flipped a little bit. Panthers get back to themselves. I think that's why you feel good going back to Edmonton. The Panthers definitely feel more like themselves. So we'll see. Game 6, 8:00 on Friday night, and hopefully they can make Canada very sad. We can all celebrate all weekend. Tell you one thing, though. The Cats aren't going to fly up to Boston to celebrate the Stanley Cup if they win it.
Absolutely not.
Can I just say, as an aside, by the way, I'm really disappointed in the local media in this Boston Celtics thing. I thought it was really disappointing to see WSVN and Local 10 break in with live shots of the Celtics flying in like the president or the royal family was coming to visit. Have some shame, okay? You don't need to report everything. You don't need to rub it in our noses even more. I don't care that you have 85-year-old O'Keefes and O'Malley's in Boca Raton that you have to kowtow to. Like, you have to give them a look. Oh, look, honey, the seas are here. No, I don't like that. So have some shame. I thought it was disgraceful that they threw that up there like real celebrities were coming to town yesterday.
You know, I actually did not see that.
It was all over the place, JFig.
No.
All over the place. It was all over the place, Leroy. It was. They rubbed our noses in it just to get.
Where did you say it was?
WSVN had it. WPLG had it. Disgusting. Hated it. They were throwing those scenes up today on Jet Up. You don't need to show that. You don't need to show that. Get back to what you do, all right? Which is car fires. Or dirty dining.
Shootouts.
Yeah, shootouts, dude. I don't need to see Tatum rolling up with the Larry O'Brien trophy. Do me a favor and spare me. Especially a day where the Cats are going for the Stanley Cup. What is that?
I agree.
Breaking news here into Local 10 and WSVN. The Celtics have arrived. Great. Who cares? Thanks. I haven't seen it all over the place. I thought my one safe haven was going to be local news and I could watch Help Me Howard. Nope.
Help Me Howard.
Who's here once again to backstab me? Local news just to throw the Celtics back in my face. Come on. I nearly had to put a guillotine choke on Glenn for putting a Jason Tatum cut into one of our updates. Hey, Glenn!
He did?
Tatum cuts in our updates.
What?
Yup.
I didn't hear that.
Well, you guys are home. You don't hear the commercials.
Yes, I do.
Well, you weren't paying attention then.
So let me get this straight.
I was listening to Austin Burke.
You know where he's from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Enough said.
You thinking a wolf in sheep's clothing?
Yep. Yep.
House.
Did not put two and two together there.
I'm just tired of it. I see, all these O'Keefes and O'Malley's.
Him and Beast went and met the plane.
They're all here to South Florida hobnob. But there's probably some program director over at SVN who goes, the C's are in town. Let's get a live shot of that. Send that chopper.
Says a lot about your city that you get as far away from it as you can to celebrate.
It's weird, right?
And the parade.
It's so weird.
It's
sad.
such a
It's
strange
sad.
thing. Like, yeah,
It's
if it
sad.
was after the parade and they're like, hey, but it's such a blatant FU to the Miami Heat, which, all right, you know what? To the victor go the spoils. It says your city is lame as hell and you can't stand being around your Beantowners. But the fact that you got to add fuel to the fire here locally and you need to throw that in Heat fans' face on the news, have some shame, local news. For God's sakes. For God's sake, I haven't even seen Ole and Dade, and you know how shameless they are. I haven't even seen them throw Tatum in my face like this.
Wait, but here's the problem, Tobin.
What?
Nobody's from here like you.
I don't care, dude. Have some damn, pride in this place. It's not the King of England or Queen of England coming over here. All right? This isn't the Princess of Suits coming over here.
Meghan Markle?
Yeah, it's not a duchess.
Princess of Suits.
The Pope isn't coming here. We're breaking in. And by the way, this is exactly how you guys scared away Peyton Manning in the first place. You chased him in a helicopter. He's like, I got to get out of here. I'm going to go place more relaxed where they smoke weed like Denver. People don't forget, dude.
Only in Day does not have anything. Nope.
Yeah, you don't want to know. Good what? Class. I would have thought they would have had like Jason Tatum all over Astron by now. That would have been like 9 videos of it.
Do you think Liv has anything? Let's find out.
Oh, I'm sure. Who knows?
You know what they got? Let me tell you what Liv got. A big fat ass check.
Uncle Luke's not happy with them. He's supposed to get the pass from Uncle Luke to come down here. He's not happy with whatever promoter set this up. And I'm not happy either, dude. Breaking in. Kidding me?
Nothing.
Let's break into coverage here. The Celtics have arrived. Who cares, dude? What? Thank you. We know. Hey, in case you haven't wondered, they won the championship. Thank you. As if yesterday wasn't bad enough for your boy Tobin.
Is that like doing it for the Jets?
Yeah, it's just like
if
what
the
are you
Jets
doing?
win the Super Bowl.
And I know that
By the way, it'll never happen. But
yeah, it never happened. Ridiculous statement. But like, if it did happen, and Aaron Rodgers is like, "Let's go party in Miami," and they break in. The Jets have arrived. Great. Thanks. Tired of this nonsense, dude. Get over yourselves. You don't need to put everything in there. You should have been focusing on the cats and the cats alone. And you want to know something? You're the reason we lost. And Jack Nicklaus.
Wait.
No, don't blame Jack.
Don't blame Jack.
I was asking.
It was the cutest thing watching him. I'm so sorry.
I was asking somebody in the building last night who was at the game, and they said that Jack Nicklaus got no pop. No pop. Except for the ladies who thought it was adorable. Which it was adorable, objectively.
It was so cute.
But we don't need cute right now, JFig. You got Victor E-Rap there to be cute. I don't need Jack Nicklaus being there cute.
Victor E-Rap has not been behaving cute, okay?
He's horny.
What is wrong with you?
What? Have you not seen the videos of him? Why'd you break into that with that WSVN? Ridiculous. Live shots of the Celtics flying in. Jesus. All right. Hey, if you guys want to go to Blink 182 right now, caller number 4 to 305-567-0560. Caller 4 to 305-567-0560 will win a pair of tickets to see Blink 182 at the Casella Center this Friday with special guest Pierce the Veil. We got your chance to win a pair of tickets right now. Caller 4 to 305-567-0560. This is a live nation show, but if you want to go to Blink 182 this Friday at the Casella Center, 305-567-0560, caller 4 is going to win those tickets. Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Panthers, of course, fall game 5 yesterday at Amerant Bank Arena. So they got a couple days off to get things right. Still lead 3-2 in the series, a win away from the franchise's first Stanley Cup. You're right, dude.
Or 2 games away from the worst collapse in the history of sports.
There's that.
I'm just listen, by the way.
Does it help anybody that we went through this last year?
I'm saying this, and I have the utmost confidence that they will win. And I've explained all the reasons why. Right? But yikes. Take it from somebody who knows about epic failure.
Oof. Well,
and that's not even you forget, I was playing the University of Miami, and we were up 30-14 with 5 minutes left to go in the game. They got 2 onside kicks, scored 2 touchdowns, kicked the field goal, and we lost 31-30 in 5 minutes of a football game.
You guys did the Georgia Tech?
Yeah. No, way worse. They only had a 4 or 5 point lead. They had to do the Georgia Tech thing 3 times.
I still can't believe that. I went to bed that night thinking the kids were going to win. I was like, what do you mean? There was a face mask.
Every time I see Steve Walsh, I shoot him the bird.
Really?
Yes. He was on that team.
We are a week away, Leroy, from the NBA draft.
Are we last year was exciting because of Wemby?
Yeah.
Right? There's no anybody feeling anything about this year's draft?
Definitely not the top guys. They are not drawing the buzz. Although, and it's weird, the Hawks have the first pick and they may blow it up. They may trade DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. Who knows what they're going to do? It's an interesting time, but the Heat.
Would you take Trae Young or DeJounte Murray?
I'd take DeJounte.
Okay, thank you. All right, we were getting ready to fight.
No, I'd take DeJounte.
As friends and brothers, we were getting ready to have a family fight.
I think him and Jimmy are pretty tight too.
Again, I was just confirming our relationship with that decision right there. You have confirmed that we are on the same page with important stuff.
Yeah, like number 3.
If you would have came back with the Garden Gnome, then I would have to question our relationship.
Now, if you told me they weren't trading DeJounte Murray, could I be talked into Trae Young?
No, you can't. No, you cannot.
I could be talked into it.
No, you cannot. Listen,
I am telling you now.
Listen, right now, I'm talking to you like some of those women when they big friend try to buy the little bikini.
That's not fair.
I'm telling them it's cute.
That's
it's not cute.
That's not
right?
fair.
Somebody I am stepping in front of you and throwing myself over the hand grenade so you don't have to go that route.
I could be talked into
you can't.
Anything this offseason. Anything.
No.
Yes,
I
you
will have
can.
a conversation. If you want to sit by and you want to bring old Tobes out to lunch, we sit at a bistro, and you want to talk Trae Young, I'll do it. There's really you want to talk Paul George. These are people I have ripped and made fun, but I need changes, Leroy.
Listen,
I need something to happen.
You cannot bring a guy in.
Yep.
Where there's no chance of him playing defense.
Here's the thing, though. Used to it, Tyler Hero doesn't play defense. And
but you could get him to wave his little pterodactyl arms every now and then.
Dude, no, you can't. No, you can't.
And that's why.
Trae Young throws lobs, dude. Lobs to Bam.
Dude.
Lobs.
Dude, here's a rule I have. I don't want nobody on my professional basketball team shorter than me. End of discussion.
You don't feel a chill?
End of discussion.
Leroy, you don't feel it? Dame's shorter than you.
Huh? No, Dame is not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Isn't Dame like
Dame is like 6'3".
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Probably about 6'2", 6'3", yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Muggsy Bogues came to mind, Leroy. You weren't a big Muggsy Bogues fan?
No.
All right, so it says he's listed at 6'2", which means he's 6 foot.
Oh, my God.
It means he's 6 foot. Anybody feel
Dude,
chill?
Can I tell? Here's what I hate about you. I can interest you in anybody with a name.
Yeah.
But you don't see the practicality of them being on your team.
I don't want
I do. Here's what I know from the Heat. You're going to have to play some kind of defense. You know how many times Trae Young will get caught in a blender?
But Leroy, hold on. You tell me all the time. Yes, we know the defense. Okay. But what have you also said the Heat need?
Scoring.
Like air to breathe. We need buckets, dude. Buckets. And yes, he is a turnstile. And yes, he is a garden gnome. And yes, Gabe Vincent made him say pineapple.
Let me explain something to you. You understand what you're asking for, that in 6 months you will be miserable.
I don't think so.
Dude!
A little chill.
See, it's the name. It's the name.
Don't look at me like that, JFig.
Every time they play the Hawks, you go, I'm so tired of Trae Young.
I am very tired of him. But, like when the person's in your uniform, I might feel different. Now, what if he just needs a little? What if he needs a little?
What is wrong with? Stop it!
No. What if he needs a little?
Right now, I am talking you off the cliff.
This is ridiculous.
I'm talking you off the cliff of going with a name instead of somebody who can actually help your team.
Dude, we need this guy. This guy, he's been the leading scorer in the league.
Nope.
Come on.
He's also led the league in assists too.
Ice Trae, Dame Dollar, kind of samesies, dude.
No, what?
Samesies.
Except one is 6 inches taller than the other.
I'm sitting next to Trae Young. It's not that different.
Oh, he had his hair combed up.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. You can't don't hair shame him too.
I'm not hair shaming him.
You already spent all yesterday.
Got that high top, so everybody thinks
he's on Derek White all show yesterday. I'm not going to let you do it to Ice Trae too.
Do it to Ice Trae too.
Wait, it is not my fault that everybody in his mouth got the fire alarm except that one tooth.
I love you, Drewer.
You have spent the last 48 hours.
This is not a test. This is an actual fire alarm. Everybody, please get in position, line up quietly, and we will be escorted out of the front of the building.
When I say I spent the whole day laughing.
Derek, that means you. Derek, get your students. They're not behaving. Your students.
25.7 last year a game, Leroy, for Ice Trae.
Yo!
11 assists a game last year, Leroy.
I love how you're convincing yourself to
He's convincing himself. He's not convincing me.
You said this offseason, anyone can convince you, but anyone is you. You're the one convincing yourself.
I think that's fair. I have to keep an open mind, JFig. When you get knocked out of the first round and you see your mortal enemy win the trophy,
enemy, who's the average height is 6'4", and your solution to defending Boston is go and get a Garden Gnome?
It's not the solution. It's part of the solution.
Go get a jacket.
Can you?
No, I don't want a jacket.
You live in Florida. You shouldn't need that. Hey,
the only fever you should be feeling is cat fever.
Dude, stop. Let's be practical here, right? I don't want a player that the coach has to take a knee to talk to. I don't.
That's not fair, dude. That's not you're making it seem like he's Isaiah Thomas
with hair,
dude. It's not fair. Oh man, Damian Lillard after 32 a year ago. We need that guy. How did we blow that? I missed the comment.
So here's
I was
the
too busy looking at Dame stats.
Here's the deal. Can we please not talk about Trae Young?
Please.
That's not a good fit.
What if it becomes a thing, though?
It's not going to become a thing.
What if it becomes a thing?
It's not going to become
You're the only one trying to make it become
You're the only one. Hold on, real quick. Hey, chat, Twitch and YouTube. Trae Young, yay or nay? That's
you want to put it on Twitter?
Put it on Twitter.
We don't need to put it on Twitter.
Well, I mean,
I just want it with our. Look. RVA Richie. Pineapple. Sir Noble. Nah.
Actually,
They say
don't
no
put it
to
on Twitter. I feel
everything.
like
Hold
you're gonna
up.
throw it
Bunch of
out
Nets and
there.
Mellies. Yeah, like what if I just put Trae Young tickle your fancy?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Come on, dude.
Wait. Prez says yay. Wow.
I'm putting it on.
Wait.
It's up.
Bad Fish 2 can't be worse than Hero. Except he's 6 inches shorter. At least Tyler could wave his hands and be 6'7".
You're becoming a
Fine,
desperate whaler.
But I'm not a
Hard
desperate whaler.
pass.
What I would say, JFig, is I'm not a desperate whaler. I'm just looking at all open
Ooh,
seas.
somebody said Trae is better than Lowry.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
You guys are disrespecting Trae Young.
Dr. Sabagan,
You've done that all the time.
Wait a minute. Where do you think we? Wait a minute. Where do you think we get that from?
What?
You.
Apparently, times are changing, and now he's allowed to take everything back.
Times are changing.
Wrap it in a little bowl.
Kick the tires.
You guys, let me tell you something right now.
How's our scoring lately?
You want to know something, dude? You want to know something? Here's the facts.
What?
When Ice Trae shows up to media day next year, keep the same energy.
I will.
Oh, like you did with Kyle Lowry?
I'll be very
That's
unimpressed.
my guy, Kyle Lowry. I love Kyle.
Hey, you changed the topic.
I okey doked you so bad.
Oh.
I'm glad you admit that.
How about
Hasn't it-
Snyder?
Oh, I mean, come on. That's number one. Of course, but that's an obvious one. That's why I don't want to have discussions that are silly. Like, of course I want Spider.
You don't want to
This
have
is a silly
discussions that are
conversation right now.
silly. We're having a silly conversation right now.
What if Spider signs the extension? What if Spider signs the extension? Dame's not going anywhere. Are we going back into this thing with the same backcourt of Terry and Tyler?
I still don't want Trae.
Terry Rozier not very tall. Now, it does have wingspan.
What?
And
Yeah.
you
Did
love
you see
Winston.
how much of a difference he made on the basketball court? Stop it!
What do you
Stop
mean?
it!
What do you mean? You're saying Terry Rozier's better than Trae Young? I love Scary Terry, but dude.
I'm saying Terry Rozier will make more of an impact on both sides of the ball than Trae Young.
What? What are you acting? When all of a sudden you become the glove? Are you crazy?
Trey Young has been an all-star.
Trae Young is taking his team to the conference.
Not for
final.
playing defense.
Dude, he's one of the best scorers in the league. You guys are being closed off
He's
right now.
wait. He is the epitome of looter and a riot.
That's not fair, though. He's been on teams that have gone to the conference finals. Been the best player.
He's been on
But as an aside, I love a good ice tray. You know, especially when you make those big ice cubes.
the balls, the one.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Or I got like the big cubes. Oh, I got one of those. Man.
Oh wait, somebody said, "Hey,
Hmm?
I like Terry, but hell no, Trae is definitely better."
Well, the poll is up. You guys can vote right now at Brendan _
See, I don't like when you put polls up because you put polls up with your trickery and your manipulation.
I swear
Yes.
to God, JFig, look at the poll. JFig's going to
I'm
retweet
looking.
it.
I'm
at
looking.
560. It literally just says Trae Young ? Yes, no. That's it.
Okay.
No
Oh,
manipulation.
Trade day. He putting his own twist to it.
Woo-wee.
Oh, he could come out to that beat too.
You already got 2 comments.
We
Somebody
take
said you can put polls up on Twitch.
Can you? I got to figure that out. Take a break. Play a little Rats Off a Ship coming up next.
Trae Young, rats off a ship.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 here on the program. Time to get to our favorite hump day game, Rats Off a Ship. JFig will give us the topics, and we will decide where our rats lie. JFig, what do we got today for Rats Off a Ship?
All right, guys. Well, for number one, we have the Florida Panthers.
Not Rats Off a Ship on the Florida Panthers. I had cowards reach out to me last night who were worried. I will not name names, but the cowards, I tried to talk them back onto the ship. They're like, I'm going to jump. And I'm like, no, don't jump. Stay here. You need to jump only one place, and that's on the ice once Lord Stanley is hoisted. But we've said it all show. I love what we got from Tkachuk yesterday. I feel like there's a best version of the Cats we still haven't even seen yet, and I feel like we'll see that on Friday night. Not Rats Off a Ship. Leroy?
I'm not Rats Off a Ship. Like, how can you be Rats Off a Ship with a team that's winning their series?
Right.
And although they lost the last two, they're still up 3-2. Right? So I'm always going to feel confident in that this team can get it done because everything that they've done for the last 2 years would dictate they can turn around and get it done.
What about you, Jennifer?
I will never be Rats Off a Ship.
Wow. All right.
Never. Also, I had several people contact me last night too, and I told them to relax. So
yeah, I always feel like I got to talk everybody off a cliff here in the building once I walk in.
Here's the deal.
It's like part of the sports radio gig is you got to talk off all the people. It's like, hey,
sometimes you
here's the deal though. Here's why we got to talk. You ready? You want to know why we got to talk people off the cliff?
Yep.
Because they're just coming along when they see the team go win the Stanley Cup. They haven't seen this team for the last 2 years and know what they're capable of, what they've done, how they've gone about their business. And so when they lose 2 games after being up 3, the people that have been paying attention, right, don't panic. The people that are watching that just got into it because their local team was up 3-0, they're panicking. So you got to weed them. You got to weed those people out. You got to I had some of Fonz's friends over. I'm sitting in a jacuzzi. They watching the TV outside. And they're going, woo, the Panthers, man, they lost the last 2. I said, where were you when they won the first 3? Stop.
What's number 2, JFig? Oh, Dan Day, you Rats Off a Ship?
No way Rats Off a Ship. We won the first 2 games pretty solidly, 1-1 in the third game. They've won the past 2. We're a goal better so far. We only need 1 of 2 to win. This team, when the going gets tough, they get going. No worries at all.
All right. What's number 2, Jennifer?
Well, we heard the news. Justin Timberlake. Are we Rats Off a Ship?
Oh, dude.
Got a nice little mugshot for you guys.
Oh, let me see the mugshot. You got to see the JT mugshot. Oof.
Got to tell you, he a little glassy-eyed.
He is glassy-eyed, dude.
Right?
That man has a few good move not doing the breathalyzer because he has some drinky poos behind those eyes.
You know, sir, you don't need to blow your breath. We can smell your breath.
From inside the car.
Yeah.
I want to see this body cam footage so bad, especially if the kid really doesn't know who he is. Do you think it's like an Andrew Burnett situation where he goes, I used to coach the Panthers? You don't care.
No.
Well, apparently he whispered under his breath and said, you're going to ruin the world tour.
He said what?
You're going to ruin the world tour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You should have gone with.
And you know what? In the way we are in this world, that guy is going to wear it as a badge of honor. I'm the one that ruined the world tour.
Well, I mean, also don't drive on the wrong side of the road.
Look.
Wait,
I would suggest, and I would say to him, right, that no, you ruined your world tour. You shouldn't have been out here acting a fool.
He should have gone. You guys like trolls?
Justin Timberlake, what kind of car was he driving?
I don't know.
Because I'm going to tell you why. Depending on how expensive the car is, depends on whether you call and get a ride. A lot of times people don't want to leave a expensive ass car
Either way, look where he was. That entire place is full of expensive cars.
Looks to
isn't
me
it?
like an SUV. Like I'm seeing
Okay,
a
then
picture.
he could have called a ride. You know, he could have called somebody or got a ride. Wait. Let me
Doesn't
say.
he have
Wait,
people
in
that
the
follow
bar,
him
in the
around
bar that he was
constantly?
hanging out, wherever he was hanging out drinking, he couldn't say, "Hey, can somebody give me a lift home?"
Doesn't he have like bodyguards or something that usually take care of
Not
that
there,
situation?
not in the Hamptons.
Yeah, but it's Justin Timberlake.
They're all equals up there. Everybody got money.
Okay, I understand that, but it's still Justin Timberlake.
Okay, but he ain't like, okay, yeah. Justin Timberlake is one of many. Everybody
me tell you
Justin Timberlake that live up there.
Yeah, and also that's not one martini eyes.
Of course not, it is.
Of course we know that. Listen.
Who are you trying to fool with these eyes?
Can I just say this to people that would even try and get away with this? When you get stopped, please do not say, I've only had 1 or 2 drinks. Then they really gonna arrest your ass because they know I can look at a person and say he didn't had a few. I don't need to ask. They just asking to see if you know what? Look, I probably had too much to drink. That would have been a
If you
better
were going to
plan.
go ahead and drink, I think that you should be a little bit more responsible and plan ahead, especially if you are a big-time artist like him.
That being said, not rats off a ship on JT. Look, it's a mistake.
It's a mistake. Right. Nobody
It's a
got
mistake.
hurt.
He's an adult.
No, wait. Nobody got hurt. Wait. Hey, Jennifer. I learned
I understand
Hey,
adults make mistakes too, but
I
come on.
learned a valuable lesson in all these years of living. How old you are does not determine how grown you are.
Okay, well, if you have your entire life in the spotlight, I think that you should go ahead and be a little bit more responsible with the things you do, especially when you're putting other people's lives in danger.
We make that assumption, and that's why the first thing I said was, thank goodness nobody got hurt, right? But we assume that everybody's going to make an adult situation or adult decision in an adult situation. And I'm telling you that we got 50 and 60-year-olds still doing childish crap because they can.
So
Washington is rolling his grave. Listen to JFig. That's not what they said to me.
All right,
Well,
so
that being said, I am rats off a ship. Okay.
Wow.
Am rats off a ship. Yep. Be a little bit more responsible.
People make mistakes.
Jeez. I bet you if it was Pierce the Veil behind that wheel, you would have given him another chance.
No, I wouldn't. Okay, I would talk to them and be like, be more responsible.
You would
You're
like
a parent.
you would like to think that people have your
Look, stuff like this hits a little bit too close to home.
I
to me,
know,
okay?
I
So
know.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this route.
And that's why I said what I said and not even insinuate that you're wrong. It hits personal for you, right? But I'm saying that we make assumptions that how old a person is determines how grown they are. And we got some old ass children walking the face of the earth.
Oh, something tells me a boy band member is a walking child.
I mean,
not to judge.
Joey
But-
Fatone.
Dende, where are your rats on JT?
Nah, I'm not rats off a ship.
What's number 3, JFig?
JJ McCarthy.
Oh,
Apparently the
Leroy's.
first pitch was a little brutal.
Leroy's national championship quarterback and soon to be quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings as soon as they get off the Sam Darnold kick.
What
He
happened?
threw out a first pitch, Leroy, and not so accurate for your champion here. As you can see, he was a little bit wide.
Well, you know what? First of all, they tell you don't throw from the top of the mound.
They
And
do?
all the athletes, yeah. And all the athletes think they can do it.
Good thing.
That's in Minnesota, right? Or is it in Detroit? Minnesota?
Yeah, it's in Minnesota. I see the Twins.
Yeah, because it's
syndrome,
crazy.
but-
Minnesota's outdoors now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of fans there.
Target Field.
Oh, look. It looks like a Marlins game.
Wow.
Look around. Look at them stands.
I know what you're talking about.
All right.
I don't even know. What are the Twins doing this year? Can't say I've kept up. I know the White Sox are in their division. They're the worst team in baseball.
Twins started out good. I think they've kind of leveled off since.
Twins are 41-32. Not too bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
Look at the fans they get.
They've actually won 6 straight.
Wait, they played that many baseball games?
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
We're almost in July.
We're almost halfway through the season.
I know.
And we don't even yikes. Sorry.
Well, the Marlins are, 12 games back of 4th place.
I mean, that just say they're well in last place. Don't give them a number to say they're close to worse than last.
You're right. I apologize.
And the Marlins are literally hard to watch in more ways than one.
JFig's band would be Pierce the Quail.
At some point.
I'm not rats of a ship off JJ McCarthy for a bad first pitch. Can happen to the best of them. But he is supposed to be usually there's, usually a football quarterback. Usually he's probably played baseball at some point. That's a little bit.
Really?
Well, Russell
He
Wilson.
probably haven't thrown a baseball in 10 years.
I mean, that's.
Dude, so you tell. I'm not rats off a ship.
Good
right?
thing Josh wasn't in the box.
I'm not rats off a ship because, look, you get in that moment and you get fired up. You want to throw the heater. And then your timing just gets a little off.
It happens.
Michigan bias. Yeah, well, I mean, I would say more athlete bias that we tend to think because a guy can play football or basketball that he can stand on the mound and throw a strike. And I'm telling you, no. At least it wasn't balloon toss. Yeah, I blew my hammy out. Hey, that day, I don't know how I did it, my man, but I blew my hammy in balloon toss.
Man. All right, so you're sticking by JJ McCarthy. No surprise there. Michigan bias. JFig?
Whoa! Because he didn't throw a strike in baseball?
He didn't go anywhere near a strike, dude.
You know what?
He
He's
tried to
not
throw
a lot
the
better
heater.
than other people out there, so I'm not rats off a ship.
All right, Dan?
Only for self-preservation. I'm not rats off a ship. That scares the living you-know-what out of me to think that I might ever have to pitch out a first pitch at a game. And if I do like that, I don't need that bad mojo in my life. So I'm not going to be rats off a ship on that.
All right. Throw out a first pitch.
You do?
I do.
Give us one more, JFig, before we close rats off a ship today.
All right. We have Chris Quinn taking the Pistons job.
Rats off a ship. I'm all for Chris Quinn getting a gig. Don't do it, dude.
Rats off a ship.
Leroy?
I'm not rats off a ship for this reason, right? This is your profession, right? If you can get that $4 or $5, $6 or $7 million deal, right? You set your family up for life, right? Then you get into the cycle of coaches. And that's how it works. Because I promise you, any coach that coaches for Detroit, everybody that interviews you after that is going to look at Detroit. They ain't going to look at you. And so from that standpoint, go get that 5-year, 6-year, $7 million deal. Pave your own way. It's your profession. It's your job to try to maximize the amount of money you can make in the period of time you get to coach. Why wouldn't he take the job? Even if you get fired in 2 years, so what?
JFig?
As sad as that would be, I'm not rats off a ship. Go get your coin.
All right.
You deserve it.
Yeah, go ahead, say it. Say that Moño.
That Moño. Dan Day, Chris Quinn taking the Pistons job.
Rats off a ship.
Yeah.
Hey, but Dan Day, see, I said it the way they say in Louisiana. Moño.
Moño.
Not Munyon. Like Munyon.
Wait, say it, Dande.
Moño.
But like in a full sentence, please.
What do you mean?
Go get that money.
When is he gonna go? When he gonna go get that Moño? When he gonna get that Moño?
He gonna do what he do.
Sounds like Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier lives in a place where they closer to Creole. But,
where is he from?
Lafayette.
Oh, he's from Lafayette.
Yeah, so he's like, here, Lafayette is considered a tweener. You in between marsh and city. So you can go either way. Right? If you make a left, you can end up in New Orleans. Now keep in mind, New Orleans as a whole is not very city. So we talking about city relative to New Orleans.
Dude, I got called baby and sugar and sweetheart so many times.
JFig, if you was in the club, right? You're in the club, say we all hang out. Somebody will, what's up, baby? Where you at?
I'll be like, I'm not your baby, number one.
No, hey, what's up? What's up, baby? Where you at?
No.
No. I didn't mean like that. I mean, you go to the store, Fig, you might be buying something at the grocery store and like, hey, baby, you need paper or plastic. They'd say something like that.
Yeah. Or
okay, sure, that's fine.
Or I say, ooh, they say, hey baby, you in here making groceries?
No. But like, are you? Why else would I be here?
Dude, it's just
not your baby.
Hey, I'm telling you. That's just the way people talk.
That's what I say. I am your sugar. I am your baby. I am your honey.
Hey, yeah. Nah, you like, yeah. See, you wouldn't survive because you be fighting it. You just fight. You can't fight it. You just fight. It don't mean nothing.
Well, down here, it means
no. It don't mean everybody, baby, sugar. Where you at?
Okay,
you know what I'm
my
saying?
name's Jennifer. Number one,
right?
Cool.
Like if you go get a sub, they're not gonna ask you what you want on it. They're gonna ask you want it dressed, and then you just get all the stuff, right? There's no yeah.
We'll take a quick break. Final hour coming on up. We got interesting results so far on our poll. Very interesting.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
Casting live from the
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Talk some fighting coming on later on this hour with our guy David Feldman, president of BKFC. Big news yesterday. They're facing their promotions fighting Jake Paul, but in a boxing match, not bare knuckle. It'd be cool if they could get Jake Paul in bare knuckle. He's not gonna
No
do that.
way.
Headlines.
That's a different level of human being to do bare knuckles. We went to a bare knuckles.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It is messy.
Yeah, we went to Donna's BYB at the Hard Rock. That was fun. Then I went to, where would I go? What was the hotel that it was? Intercontinental, I think I went and I saw BKFC. I saw it at a couple places. I've seen it at the Broward Convention Center too. I saw our boy Yuli. I saw his 3-second knockout, which was a world record at the time. I think somebody broke it, which I don't know how is possible. I think that ref had a iffy count in. How do you break 3 seconds? Fastest knockout ever. Anyway,
when it takes 8 seconds to get to 8 or 10, 10 seconds to get to 10.
So I have a poll results, early returns, Leroy.
Yeah.
Early returns on the Trae Young poll.
Right.
We got into a debate. Leroy's not into it. Trae Young on the Miami Heat. I could be talked into anything. That's just where I'm at right now. You got to keep an open mind, Leroy. Open mind. It's an open mind.
I kept an open mind. And here's where my mind is. When I look forward, I want to have to look up to see a basketball player.
Are you playing with your truck?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say the truck's line?
No.
Headlines brought to you by the new
He's
Palmetto
waiting.
Ford Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
All right, early returns. We just put this poll up a little bit ago. Trae Young, question mark. Yes, no. All right. Almost got 600 votes in the early returns already. 56% say yes. However, the comments, people are very split. I have somebody saying, hell no. Trae Young on the Heat will lead you to the play-in again. One guy says, if we strike out on all our options, then yes, we need offense and need it fast. Murray is another good option too. Agreed. Leroy and I agree with that. That would be we would prefer that, but I think they're probably going to stick with DeJounte Murray.
Do you understand that the Heat cannot be in a position to settle this year? They can't.
Mm-hmm.
They have to make moves with guys that they know are going to contribute for the next couple of years instead of settling for what's available. You settle for what's available, guess what that is? Play-in territory. Because you're getting everybody else's leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
So, no.
My favorite comment that you got was, first of all, I want to say no. Actually, I want to translate that into Spanish. No.
Generational talent and Heat fans out here saying no, shaking my head. One of the
Generational
best
talent?
defenses in the league he can hide in. Wayne says, I'm
Wait.
absolutely.
Trae Young is a generational talent?
I think that's strong.
Yeah.
But he's an all-star talent. He
Someone
is.
put, if we have to.
I don't want to be in that. Tobin, that's the whole point I'm making. I don't want to be in that situation. That's what it sounds like. We're settling again.
He has never met the word defense.
That's true.
Tyler at least runs around and waves his hands, and he is 6'5".
Okay, but he stinks at defense. And he's not as good a scorer as Trae.
So you're saying we can trade one non-defensive guy for another non-defensive guy, but one scores more, so it's a win.
Yes.
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 And it's going to cost you about 13 more million.
Yes, that's true. He's going to cost more money. That's true.
So is it worth 13 million? To you, yes. You just like change, dude. You like new. You like change.
names.
Let me ask you something. Am I not entitled to some change? I had Kyle Lowry here.
All change ain't good change.
You're right. Kyle Lowry wasn't good change. I want some change that gets me some buckets. Okay? And yes, I've made fun of him, and I said that the Heat made him say pineapple in safe word. But what
And now you want him. Do you going to change like this as long as we know each other? Have some stones.
No, I'm not going to have stones. We just got bounced in the first round in 5. Plays games, too. How many games did he play last year? Trae. Actually missed a lot of games last year.
They kind of sat him towards the end when they were trying to tank for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, but before that, 73, 76. Come on, baby. 3-time All-Star. Averaged over 25 for his career.
Led the league in assists a couple times.
Yep. Bam. Set Bam up. Lobs. Imagine what he did with Clint Capella. Imagine he has Bam, Leroy.
Just finish a sentence by saying pineapple. And now you're trying to sell him.
RVA is calling you stoneless.
Yep.
CT says, kid stinks. Keep it moving, Mr. Hairline.
I was waiting for that comment. I was going to upset there.
Another guy
Dude,
says, no
look,
way.
Do you understand where this Heat team has us? Listen to us. We're bickering.
Well, I'm upset. All right. The Celtics are parading around this town with a trophy, and I want different.
Wait.
Wow, this is desperate times right now.
Let me ask you a question. Jaylen Brown just pretty much locked down Luka.
Yep.
You got Mike White. You got the 2 intangibles.
His name is not Mike.
You got
His name
Derek
is Derek.
White. Derek White. Derek White.
Mike White is the backup quarterback.
You got Derek White. You got the 2 intangibles, and you got Jason Tatum, right? And let's not forget Drew Holiday. And your solution to that, to competing with that, is Trae Young.
It's part of the solution.
Dude, he's going to play a whole game with a booty in his face.
Dude, what if we get him?
Because he's too short. Hey, help D. Help D. Just hit him with cheeks in the face.
Okay, so ESPN today, they put out their latest mock draft. They have us taking Zach Edey at 15. Yeah. So we have that giant Sasquatch with Bam, Jimmy, and Trae Young with Duncan Robinson. Come on, dude.
Wait, we almost have – we got 2.5 intangibles, right?
What?
Zach Edey, Duncan, Bam, Jimmy,
and
Trae.
Yeah.
That's 2.5.
Okay.
All right.
You don't like that roster?
Wait, break down the half and halves and everything, because Edey.
Duncan, Edey.
No. Edey's half Asian. Is that intangible?
Okay, then 2. Because I made Trae half.
Well, yeah.
Well, right now we got Jovic.
Back home. I don't know if you're familiar with the term.
I ain't saying it.
Red bone.
I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying it. But Leroy.
Yes, sir.
Fun, baby.
See, your fun gets us into the play-in again. This isn't fun.
I don't know.
Right? This is like, let's go eat at that special restaurant that we never tried. Even though you're not a fan of the food, let's try something new, baby. And then you get the bubble guts and the BGs, and now you're upset because you knew you shouldn't have did in the first place. See, your mistakes, you don't try something with 40+ million a year. That's not trying it. You got to commit to it. And now you're stuck with a garden gnome at 40+ million.
On a garden gnome who averages 26 and 11.
Okay. You just don't care about the defense.
It's not that I don't care.
You don't care about Trae getting stuck in the pick and roll going, help!
That's why I told you, ideally, I would like DeJounte Murray. I don't think he's going to be available.
Looter in a riot. If it was anybody else that you didn't want and I was pushing that guy, you would say he's a looter in a riot. He scores a lot of points for a bad team.
You said that Terry Rozier is going to make more of an impact. And Terry Rozier averaged 23 with the Hornets, came here, averaged 16. Like, he was the prototypical of that. And somehow you think he's going to make a bigger impact than Trae Young.
In the middle of the year.
All right, that's fair. I'll give him a shot. But, like, Trae Young's been a better player in his career.
Do you understand the basic concept of this team? Tyler is one of the first guys they had to depend on that play zero defense.
Okay, that's fine. But Tyler Hero has not been as much as he said that he thinks he's in the class of Trae Young, like he said, back in his sophomore year, he has not been. He has not led a team to the places that Trae Young has, and it's cold in here.
Dude, put on a jacket. Like,
cut out this nonsense.
I will
Cut it out.
Tyler
You're
Hero's been
upsetting
to the
my
NBA
dog.
Finals twice.
Well, he wasn't to the NBA Finals twice. He was wearing street clothes in one of them.
That's true.
And
That's
the other
true.
one, we haven't seen him perform since he was a rookie. He has gotten worse in every playoffs that he's performed in since.
It's our guy, though, man.
That's
Love
it.
him.
He is our guy.
Tobin, stop. Get some help. I agree. Come on, dude. Can you stop? Why do you do this to me?
It's cold.
Right? This is ridiculous.
Go outside.
As
Like
long as you've been
90
around the
degrees
heat, as long as you've been around the heat and you know what this team is and you know what they believe in, right? You literally come to the table with, let's go get Trae Young.
You
He
guys
don't fit in heat culture in no way.
you don't know that.
Really?
You don't know that.
You tell me how he fits.
Let me ask you something. How does
Nope,
Tyler Hero?
there
No.
you
Let me
go.
ask you a question.
No, you don't answer a question
No,
with
you
another
answer my
question,
question.
so you
No, I
can
have a
ignore the
question.
question.
But why? How does Tyler Hero fit heat culture, but Trae doesn't?
They drafted him. It's a different scenario, and they realized
whatever, dude.
Wait, that's why they tried to offer him up last year for a fried Oreo. Because they realized it wasn't going to work out. Then you go get another guy similar to him? Shame
Not
on
similar.
you.
Not similar. A man who puts up bigger numbers.
You know how the Heat think, dude.
Well, they need to free their mind a little bit. Sorry.
So,
Stop being
it's
stubborn.
okay to sign a guy who can score but can't play a lick of defense?
I mean, he had scored with the best of them, though.
I don't care how good you are. It's like saying somebody is a good football player. They should be good at golf. I mean, he's an athlete.
Take a break. Back up.
Right. Like, no.
Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Streaming live, YouTube and Twitch. David Feldman, president of BKFC, is going to join us coming on up. Panthers, they lose Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final 5-3. Series heading back to Edmonton. Game 6 is Friday night. Of course, you can hear that right here, 560 WQAM. And see if the Cats can get this thing going. Like you said, it could be got 2 more cracks at Lord Stanley, or as Leroy did point out, it could be the worst collapse in the history of sports. Which, you know, I will say it is nice having reps at it last year, because I remember feeling with the Heat, I was like, they're not going to blow this. No way. Not going to happen. And then Game 6 happened, and I remember being in the building for that Derek White tip-in, and that was, that did not feel good. But once they took care of Game 7, it was all water off a duck's back. Doesn't matter when you get it done, just get it done. Don't blow it, please.
And Game 7 was a nice no-doubter, too, because
yes,
I didn't want to be biting my fingernails all night.
Yes. So Panthers right now, I liked if it would have kept up the way that Game 5 was going. I'm not gonna lie, I had some dark thoughts. when it was 3-0. I was like, oh man. But Tkachuk coming alive. I'm feeling okay. Cats got this. A lot of people are going into this. Bam out of the Bayou says, open up the phones. I got to crap on Leroy. He's upset. So he wants Trae Young. Well, you can call Bam. I'm in 305-567-0560. Oswald says, why do you want to be the Miami version of Dallas? Well, first of all, Dallas was in the finals. You know, I get what you're saying. Like, you're trying to be like, oh, you know, that wasn't good enough to beat Boston, but they did beat Minnesota. They did beat OKC. Like, they beat some tough teams on the road there. Like, the West path was much tougher than the East path was. So I don't think there's any shame in that. And I don't think I just think it's a little bit of a discredit to the Heat when you're saying the Heat could take a talent like Trae Young and make something of it. That seems silly to me. I don't know. I get it. We've made fun of him before. He wasn't good enough against the Miami Heat in series. But you're telling me that the Heat can't unlock some things with him there? I don't know. It just seems weird to me. You seem very dismissive. I don't like dismissiveness. I think this is a time. I'm not saying you have to love it, but this is a time for ideas, okay? It's a brainstorming summer. That's what it is. We have to go to the well. We have to hear some ideas out. You guys don't like it? All right, that's fine. You guys can have your opinion. But I'm not going to be sitting here being mocked because I'm an ideas man, and I want to hear some ideas.
That's reaching.
It's an idea, dude. It's an idea.
That's reaching. You're reaching.
You're reaching.
You're reaching.
I'm a plan A.
You're trying to leave the club with somebody. That's it. That's what you're doing. You trying. It's 2:00 in the morning. You trying to leave the club with somebody. That's what you're doing.
That's not true.
Oh, wait. I really want Dejounte. But if we can't get him, I'll settle for his friend.
Can't dismiss it. And you're acting like
you're doing exactly what I just said.
You're acting like I'm taking home a BBW, which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Like but if you're acting like I'm taking home like a Sasquatch home, which I'm not.
But it is. Hold on. It may not be a Sasquatch, but it is your second or third choice.
Which is fine. Doesn't mean you can't have a good time.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
And I'm not
saying
what
I'm saying is if you end up with your second or third choice, that means you're settling.
But my first choice would be Spida, of course. Actually, my first.
So actually, he's moving down the list. So look, you're getting in the BBW range. Them goggles, really. You're getting into you're getting into them beer goggles.
I'm not a big fan of this whole little analogy you got going on.
Saying, you know what I mean? Like I'm not.
You ain't never been second choice.
Thank you, Leroy. That's very sweet.
Yeah. Right. We know what happens to them.
No one's second choice.
Okay. Nobody's second choice. But somebody is always your next option, right? Like, so here's what Tobin is saying. Here's what y'all need to understand about Tobin. I'm going to translate Tobin talk. We gonna sign somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make myself like whoever they sign, even if I hated them.
I just like 26 and 11. See what Spo can do.
There's a lot of guys 26 and 11.
There's not a lot of guys 26 and 11. Actually, there's not. Actually, there's not, Leroy.
Then why would you rather have DeJounte over him?
I like DeJounte being, I do like a well-rounded player. I think
that's my point.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Fun. But dude, see, this is the thing that you think you boxed me in. I agreed with you off front. I already agree with you.
And
but
I'm telling you, as a friend, stop.
Okay, but if he's not available, if he's not available, it's not settling to go get a guy who's a 3-time All-Star, 26 and 11,
who doesn't play any defense.
And dude, they don't have people on this roster. I had Kyle Lowry here, okay, whose only move was stand in front of somebody and get knocked over. That was his defense. Whee! That
now
was his
you're
move.
trying to diminish all the other signings to make your signing more valid.
I just think it's silly.
That's lashing out.
You had
That's
$30
lashing
million
out.
in intangibles, basically.
You're lashing out, though, dude.
Ridiculous, dude.
You're lashing out. So here, let's say this. Let's do this. Let's do this. This is all I want to do for you right here. All I want to do is let's just go home from the club tonight, right? We don't have to go home with nobody tonight.
Oh, man.
Right? No, that's all right. It's okay to spend one night alone.
Celtics
and then
Remember,
tomorrow,
it's the brainstorming summer. You have so much time.
And next weekend,
No.
next weekend, we'll go out again, right? And we'll go on the prowl and see what's up.
560, you're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, my name's Carlos.
Hey,
So,
Carlos.
Leroy, why are you so dismissive of Trae Young?
Yeah, why are you so
26 and
dismissive,
11?
Leroy?
Like, we have enough defense. I'm tired of just being a one-way team. We need someone that could ignite our offense, play make Jimmy a second option, use Bam in a pick and roll. How much worse is Trae Young than Damian Lillard? He can't play defense either.
It's true. Turnstile, Damian Lillard.
If I gave you a choice, would you rather have Dame Lillard or Trae Young?
I'd rather have Dame Lillard.
Okay,
but I don't think
stop
he's available.
it. Don't compare him to Dame Lillard.
Pretty close, though. Pretty close.
So in order to justify this, see, this is what I'm talking about. He trying to make the big girl look pretty. This is what he's doing to me on the way out the
I don't
club.
like you calling him.
If he was pretty close this entire time, then why didn't you want him before? Why did you trash talk him before?
She got pretty eyes. She got pretty eyes. But so, let me ask you this. At no point in time was Dame and Trae close to one another until we got up into this club.
Times
And
change.
you had a couple of drinks.
Times change. Injuries. for
Now
Damian
you
Lillard.
say, "Oh, she looked just like me."
A lot younger. A lot younger. You know.
I love how you know how to crack yourself up, Leroy.
He trying to make her look like Beyonce. No, listen.
She didn't just leave a long-term relationship with all this baggage.
Hey,
Then
so
the next
wait.
Like
relationship
Red Lobster
with
don't
her.
look that
So
bad
wait.
right now.
Now,
Saying,
your thoughts of Dame Lillard
yeah, I love him.
have never
Me and my-
wavered.
Nah, might
You
not
have
hurt,
been
but-
critical of Trae Young since the second he got pineappled.
yeah,
right?
He had a competition though, you know,
and
like
now you're calling them samesies?
kind of samesies, not samesies.
That is the perfect example. That's the perfect example of you trying to justify, right? The big one.
I don't think I'm justifying. I feel
Yes,
like I
it
just
is.
have a more
You
open
try-
mind.
Listen, hey, dude, I've been talking to.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, she's got pretty eyes. She's
Fun.
like, really? No,
So
I'm
fun.
telling you right now. Come on, buddy. Come on. I'm gonna get you home tonight. We'll talk about this in the morning, and you'll thank me, right?
Let's take it.
You'll thank me from taking you off of this Trae Young thing.
All right, I'll
right?
think about
And
it.
everybody else in South Florida.
Maybe I'll come
Y'all
up with a
thank me later.
Segment too. By
Thank
the way.
me later, because y'all want to see butts in Trae Young's face as he get pick and rolled for the rest of his career down here in Miami.
Wow. All right. Take a break. David Feldman, BKFC president. He joins us next. Very excited to talk to our next guest. You guys know we love the fight game down here and at the Hard Rock Hotel coming up this Friday. We got ourselves a banger. BKFC back in one of its favorite destinations, South Florida, is going on. BKFC 62 with a stack card. We got the president. We got the boss man himself, David Feldman, joining us here on the show. Dave, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, as always.
This has got to be a cool thing for you because, you know, this is a stacked card, but you built a lot of these guys up. That has to be pretty exciting, man, for all the work that you put into it to have, you know, now a stable of guys to put something like this together. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's the growth of the company, the growth of the sport. And I'm glad you actually mentioned that. That's something I was going to say. So we will have our highest grossing sales we've ever had at the Hard Rock. And that's all homegrown BKFC guys. That's unbelievable for us. It's already, I think, I don't know, there might be 80 and 90 tickets left. So it's basically sold out already. It's never sold out in advance. It always sold out the day of if it's sold out. Never sold out like this. And it's just, you know, the hoopla and everything going on around this card. It's amazing. All homegrown BKFC guys. So I'm so, you know, I'm stoked about that.
How satisfying is it to be at that part of the vision, man? Because I remember, like, you know, with you doing your big press conferences at AT&T and getting big free agents, and that's cool. Like, who doesn't want to see the guys that you know? But like the idea that you have gotten it to this point where people are saying that could be a combat path for me from the start.
It's unbelievable, man. Here's the thing: is we treat everybody right. We pay them decent. We treat them right. We give them other opportunities. But you know, it's amazing because you start this thing, you start this vision, you start in the ice skating rink in Wyoming in 2018, you know, begging people to come, and then you're selling out arenas left and right all over the world now. It's truly amazing where we came to. But the thing that I'm so happy and so stoked about, as I just mentioned, is the fact that these are guys we built up through the organization, up through the ranks. We didn't have to take them over a big star over from the UFC or from pro boxing. These are guys we built up, and these guys are selling out the Hard Rock Casino. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Kai Stewart against Brian Duran. These guys have been very heated in the buildup. I know that's always good for business and promo. David, like, do you get like the yes, this is going to be an easier one to promote because these guys are genuinely getting after it early on in the promotion.
Yeah, I mean, when two guys generally don't like each other, it's great for promotion, right? I mean, and they don't like each other, and hopefully they all let it hang out in the ring, which I think they're going to, and don't let anything hang out prior to the fight. That's the only concern I have. Other than that, man, it's going to be exciting that you know, these guys have true animosity for each other, and they're both very good sportsmen. So they're going to go in the ring, they're going to do their thing, and you know, may the best man win, and it's going to be for the 145-pound championship. And you know, again, two guys that have come through the organization to fight for their championship is unbelievable.
You just speak, David, just to the success that you guys have found down here in South Florida, because you guys have done a ton of cards down here. You know, bare knuckles kind of just in the DNA. Speaking of guys like Luis Palomino, like it just seems to make sense that South Florida and bare knuckle goes together. But what have you made of just this being a successful spot for you guys?
It's awesome, man. The fans, it's funny because when I started and I went to Florida, people were like, you know what? Miami itself is not really a combat sports place. And I was like, they're like, they just don't go to boxing or anything that much. And we went down there and we built a following, and they love it. And it's really, it's awesome having all these fans from all over Miami. I mean, everybody in Miami really knows about bare knuckle now, right? Like you can go to these other cities like Salt Lake City, and the fight fans have bare knuckle. But I mean, to get, you know, like everybody, everywhere you go, they heard about bare knuckle. They understand what it is, and they know what BKFC is. It's truly special. I mean, to the point that we're actually in the process now of opening up we should sign the lease, or actually the purchase next Tuesday or Wednesday for a BKFC training facility and kind of Apex Center there as well. So we're going to do whatever amount of fights we've been doing. We're going to do a lot more. We're probably going to do one fight a month, smaller shows in Miami, and you know, it's going to be our home away from home.
That's got to blow your mind, though. I mean, I know you've always had this vision, right? But it's like when people are looking at you like, hey, that's the crazy guy taking away people's pay 5-7 years ago. And now you're basically like, you're doing everything that a professional league would do. You know, you're doing and following those steps. So, like, is there a level of satisfaction, surprise that you've gotten to this point? Because I know there's got to be nights where you felt like, man, we're risking it here. We don't know. Like, is it crazy to feel like you've gotten to this point?
Last night, Brendan, I had that feeling, man. Listen, every night it still happens because it's still a roller coaster. You know, there's weeks that we're getting all the great calls, signing all the great fighters, getting great sponsorship deals, and there are weeks where we're like, man, are we going to be able to last the next 6 months, right? But things that really come to a head, we've done some great partnerships, as I think we'll talk about in a little bit, and we've also been able to find the right investors for us, the right partners for us, and yeah, man, I mean, there's been so many times where I was like, holy crap, man, it's getting really this big. Like, it's really getting this big. Wow. You mean to tell me this guy's at my event? You mean this guy came up to me and said, can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, no, I want to take a picture with you. He's like, no, can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, are you kidding, man? Like, it's just unbelievable. So it's truly unbelievable where this thing has went to. And, you know, some days I thought it was going to happen, and some days I thought it was going to fold. But here we are. We're about to get a big TV deal any day. We're working on it tirelessly, and things are really going to change for us for the better towards the end of 24, but especially in 25. 25 is going to be the real breakout year for us.
Yeah, well, listen, man, we got more stuff to get into, but just a congrats for me, man, because I've definitely seen, you know, the work that you put in. I remember seeing, like, when I was voting for this stuff, I was like, man, you got guys crossing over ranks. So to see the growth of it and to see everybody's interest, especially from a fighter perspective, has been really, really cool to see. So,
well, you first guys in Miami media that talked to me, man. So thank you. Seriously, thank you, man, because you gave me a shot, and now you see I wasn't that crazy.
Now, so big news came out this week. You're, you know, a guy I think everybody would say is the face of your promotion right now, Mike Perry. He's built for this. He's a crazy man. He's made for bare knuckle. He's going to be boxing Jake Paul. How does that process work with you? You mentioned giving guys other opportunities. Was there any hesitancy there from you, or does he, like, is that part of the thing? He has the freedom to do it, and how excited are you for him to do that?
He had one fight outside of his contract, and he was actually looking at something else. And because Tyson pulled out, this one jumped up for him. You know, I'm a little hesitant on it anytime someone fights outside of bare knuckle, because it is a different skill set. But look, he's got a chance to make a lot of money, change his life for his family. He's got a chance to really blow up BKFC if he's able to put up a really good fight or possibly come away with a win. He has the opportunity to change things for us as well. And I just thought it was I always measure risk versus reward. I think the only risk is if Mike Perry did go out there and get knocked dead, then it wasn't a great move. But if he goes in there and fights the way I think he's going to fight, the way he always has shown he's going to fight, with that granite chin he has, I think it's going to be a win-win.
Yeah, I do too. Just like on its face when it came out. First of all, I'm not really into the Tyson thing, you know, with Jake Paul fighting Tyson. I think it's silly somebody that old is fighting. I was at the Hard Rock. I saw Holyfield, you know, 2 seconds against Vito Belfort. I thought that was a terrible decision. So I like the fact that you know, he's fighting somebody who can actually stand there with him. But to your point, I think if he does have a good showing, which I think he will, I think that's going to be nothing but great for you guys, because it's going to show, you know, that a lot of old UFC guys went in there with Jake Paul, didn't work out, but Mike Perry, you know, could stand in there and do some hits. Plus, they got some back heat from the sparring back in the day. I think it's going to be a fun storyline between them.
Yeah, man. I think Jake's underestimating Mike's will. Like, he's got unbelievable will, man, and he can take a punch, and he understands that he's doing this to change his family's life. This isn't just another gig for him. And I don't know, man. I think it's a good move, and obviously that's why we did it. But, you know, hopefully it turns out to be a good move on July 20th.
So what has the partnership been like with Conor McGregor thus far? How has that gone?
I mean, the past couple of weeks have just been a little bit, you know, silent, if you will, obviously because of his pulling out of his fight, because of his injury, and, you know, doing what's next. But prior to that, unbelievable communication, unbelievable excitement. His team has been talking to us all the time. We actually just had a call today, game planning some things. We're going to do some really big things together. He's excited as hell. He loves it. And I think we're going to really blow it up with him. I mean, look, there's no bigger name in all combat sports than Conor McGregor, and he's a partner of ours.
What was it like being at the first event with him? Because I've seen his like reaction to these things at like on social media and whatnot, but when you're there with him, the first time you can see he really digs bare knuckle.
I mean, the excitement in his eyes, he was like a little kid. He's like, oh, this is great. Like, he can't hit me in the arm. He's like, this is unbelievable. This is holy, look at this, look at this. And then he jumps in the ring and challenges Mike Perry. And that was like viral. And I was like, man, am I really watching this? Like, this is unbelievable, man. And then it just went, we stayed in communication a little bit after that. He actually, his beer, Forged Irish Stout, is a sponsor of ours. And we just continued the relationship and got into talks about him getting involved. And he was all in, and we were all in, and here we are. And I think we're really going to blow it up because, like I said, it's different. Like, I'm calling a sponsor, I'm calling a TV network, and they're like, yeah, I talked to the guy, but he's calling, and they're like, oh, Conor McGregor's calling? Bang, they answer the phone, right? They don't always answer the phone for me. They're answering it a little more than they used to, though, Brendan. I mean, I used to get hung up on all the time, but now at least every once in a while they're answering. But I think they answer the phone for him. They do, and they're excited that he's excited about it.
So you are going to be partnering with Ryzen. That's going to become a thing. How have you noticed internationally, I guess, the interest in you guys? I imagine that had to be pretty cool, that this seems like it's growing to even other countries want to get involved with something like this.
I mean, I went to Ireland to meet Conor McGregor, and walking down the street to go to his bar, the Black Forest Inn, I stopped for like 10 different pictures, me. And I'm like, man, they know me here. I went to Abu Dhabi to meet people, and they were like, you're the bare knuckle guy. I was like, wow, man, like this thing is growing all over the world. So internationally, it's taken off more internationally than it has in the United States. I mean, it's really, really grown internationally. For instance, Russia, we have a deal with them. They do 7 to 900,000 live viewers every fight we have, 5 a.m. for them, 5 a.m. So it's amazing the fanfare and this partnership with Ryzen. This is the owner of Ryzen was the owner of Pride. So he's the guy who knows how to get stuff done over there, and he loves what we're doing. He wanted something different. We're giving him something different. And I think it's just going to be a lot more of those partnerships. I actually had a call with another huge organization over the weekend, and they want to do something similar as well. And the same thing, like me just being who I am, humble Dave, I'm like, man, these guys want to partner with me. Like, they want to partner with me. Like, I'm not calling them to partner. They want to partner with us. And I'm like, man, this is unbelievable where this thing is went. And, it's really just because of the will that these fighters do. They fight their asses off, man. They go in there, they give it their all. And my team, the hardest working team, really, truly the hardest working team in all of combat sports. And, I'm not saying we're here, but we surely are getting there now.
Nah, man. I mean, listen, you're definitely you're definitely blowing down doors. It's been awesome to see, man. Guys, got to get out there. If you guys haven't, if there's still any second market tickets out there to get you in, because the building's going to be jumping. BKFC 62 is going to be at the Hard Rock Live this coming Friday, and always a great home down here. Dave Feldman, the president of BKFC. We always appreciate the time. Is there a whale that, I know you're excited about this being a homegrown car, but is there still a whale out there? Pat Riley calls the big free agent the whale. Is there somebody you're circling the wagons around, you're trying to get in, that you would love to get into BKFC?
Yeah, man, there certainly is. I mean, our partner would be one. Obviously, he would be believable to come in. I wanted Francis Ngannou before, but he just got knocked out. But I think, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think Tyson Fury is perfect for this sport.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yep, absolutely.
That would be cool. That would be cool. The Gypsy King, that go back to the roots, man. That'd be absolutely awesome.
Absolutely, man.
David, have a great week down here, man. All the best with your event, and thanks for the time. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Brendan.